I've always...
contact there with. Oh, they're starting to rack! Around goes Grendel right in front of the pack!
Oh boy. Yeah, that one was totally avoidable.
And yeah, just misjudges.
Number 40, but looks like it won't happen. He's trying to split the middle. They're wrecking. Oh no! They're all wrecking.
Everybody!
And great job of contact with the neck code is gonna cause a big pile.
Big crap.
Oh my god! Oh!
We welcome here live for the first of 2 iSCAR duels we're going to have here at Daytona International. The World Center of Racing going to be host to 40 cars yet again, but this time on a different circumstance. Here for tonight, we're going to be finding out who the top 20 of these drivers will move themselves on to the Saturday night 250. My name is Ezeckiel Reyes.
I'm Dewey Schramm. Thank you very much for coming back and tuning in once again. We've had a lot of elimination races, I guess, over the last week, but maybe none more suspenseful than the one we're going to have tonight, where this race and the one after it later on tonight will determine who will make up the 43-car field in the Daytona 250, and I'm really excited to see how these duels turn out.
Yep, same here. We'll go over your schedule and how this will all go for tonight. The green flag will drop at 8 p.m. Eastern for duel number 1. For duel number 2, the session will go up at 9:30. Therefore, the green flag will be dropped around 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, duel 2 is more stacked than duel number 1, but we still have a lot of notable names in this duel, such as the man who is leading this practice as of right now, Aaron Mulrooney, in that number 2 machine. But duel number 1, I'm interested to see on how this will all go. We have some very interesting names in this duel as well.
Yeah, you just mentioned Aaron Mulrooney, seasoned veteran here, and iSCAR won a couple championships and quite a few wins. But I'm looking at the practice times right now. Look at some of these guys that are up in this top 10. See Jack DeAndre in the 38. I believe this is his first Speed Weeks appearance so far. Got a guy, Paul Granada, he's up in 4th. He did all right in the Yost Auto Sales Series race last night. And how about Hunter Rupp, currently 2nd on the board? He was doing well before being involved in a wreck last night. So some interesting guys we've got up in this top 10, but also throughout this entire field. So I'm really curious to see how this all shakes out and if we even get an upset tonight, perhaps.
Yep, that is right. We're going to go ahead and drag in a couple of people into the booth that, get a bit of info from them to see on how this race will go down in the end. And into the booth goes the number 2 of Aaron Mulrooney. Hey, Mulrooney, you got a copy? Hey, Aaron, it's Ezeckiel up here in the Max Speed TV booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy, Zeke.
What's up, Aaron? I see you're leading practice as of right now. Of course, the sudden disbandment of SPG has left you out with no teammates, but who are you planning to work with here for tonight?
Honestly, I'm not really planning to work with anybody. I'm probably just gonna see how the race goes, and hopefully we can work our way through the field. I'm probably not going to qualify since it's a super speedway race, and it's a long race, 45 laps at Daytona International Speedway. So honestly, I'm just gonna wing it and see what happens.
All right, bud. 10 for the number 2 of Mulrooney, currently leading practice as of right now. Before we let you go, anybody you want to thank before you spark off tonight's race?
Yeah, Zeke, I'd like to thank you and Dewey for broadcasting tonight, and, that's it. Hopefully we can go get a good run.
All right, bud. 10 for Aaron Mulrooney in the number 2 practice. Look forward to you seeing the racetrack.
See ya.
Go ahead and drag in one more, another person. That would be... actually, not the 7 number. We'll go ahead and drag in the number 22. Actually, no, never mind. We'll go ahead and drag in the number, let's see. I am trying to find his name on the list, but it looks like it's not popping up. Oh, look, yeah, there he is. There he is. We'll go ahead and drag in the number 83 of Joe Berge. Hey, Joe, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Hey, Joe, I see you on the racetrack. You're currently running 19th in practice. Who are you planning on working with here for tonight?
Well, I'm mostly hoping to work with, Will Smith. Will Smith. I cannot believe I just said that. I'm playing two different things at once. I apologize. I'm planning on working with, William Schmidt. He helped me during the shootout. Hoping to work with Garrett Hess as well, and, maybe even Liam Sheen. We're hoping also to have a better race than yesterday, so let's hope for that as well.
All right, bud. 10 for Joe Berge. He's currently sitting in 19th practice. We hope to see you out in the racetrack, bud.
Yeah, I hope I can actually make the 250, unlike I did yesterday. So let's hope that goes any better.
Joe Berge in the number 83. We'll go ahead and drag in a person very, very notable. The number 07. I don't even know. Gabe Allen. He's number 19. Posted session, but the 07 into the booth. Hey, Gabe, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. Gabe Allen in the building, man.
That's right. Gabe, you're currently running 12th in practice as of right now in the number 19 machine. Gabe, what are your plans here for tonight?
I'm here to win it. I don't care if I make it or don't make it. It's all about winning and getting that #1 win in iSCAR. Even if it's non-points.
All right, bud. 10 for anybody you're planning on working with here for tonight?
I guess my base and racing teammates like Colton Zimmer, Sertaj, I think's in the duel, base and all them, yeah.
All right, bud.
Or anybody who wants to go to the front, so.
All right, bud. 10 for Gabe. Anybody you want to thank before we spark off tonight's race?
Black Lives Matter, that's all I have to say.
All right, bud. 10 for Gabe Allen in the number 19, running in 12th place. Can't see you on the racetrack, bud.
Thank you.
Dragging one more person to the booth before we ourselves into qualifying, and that will be the number 25 of Seth Rawls. Hey, Rawls, you got a copy? Hey, Seth, it's Ezeckiel Reyes up here in the Max Speed EV booth. You got a copy? Oh my gosh, I'm so good. Alright, but yeah, I see you in number 25. I don't know where you're running in practice as of right now. It looks like you're running 27th in practice. You do have a couple of Evo teammates with you in this field. How are you planning on working together to get yourselves into that top 20?
We'll stay calm for the first 40 laps and go at it for the last 5, I think.
All right, bud. 10 for anybody you want to thank before you spark off tonight's race?
Just our partner Boosted. They've been helping us out a lot. We have merchandise. You go to evosimsport.club if you want to buy some Team Evo gear. It'd be pretty awesome.
All right, bud. 10 for Seth Rawls in the number 25, currently sitting 27th in practice. He has a lot of teammates he could work with. That will be it for pre-race interviews. Dewey, anything you want to add on before we spark off tonight's race?
I don't really know what else to add other than the fact that I'm excited, even though I've said that probably 12 times already this week. But the amount of suspense that we've had since the season ended in April, and with all the stuff going on in real life, this is something we can try to relax with and just sit back and enjoy. And we're going to have some great racing tonight, and I cannot wait for it to start.
Yep, that is right. 41 drivers going to be registered in for this duel. I'm pretty sure there's going to be more people for that next duel coming up around 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go ahead and tune us in for that. It will still be on the same video, so you can go ahead and stick around as we transition into that second duel as well. A minute left in practice as of right now as drivers get themselves set and fine-tune their cars to the right steering ratios and such. Mulrooney still leads practice in that number 2 machine. Hunter Rupp in second. Kenneth Bueno in the number 17 is in third place. Paul Granado, Frank DeAngelis, Kian M. Raleigh, Jack DeAndrea, Liam Sheen, Liam Knox, who is one of our iSCAR rookies. Nobody will be displayed with an R right next to the name due to the fact that this is a hosted session, unfortunately. Grayson Trexler in number 54 outside the top 10. Fastest intervals are going to be played, displayed on the left-hand side as well. But before we do that, actually, I'm going to go ahead and pull up race analysis here for tonight. The track, of course, Daytona International Speedway, the oval side, 2.5 miles in length. We're going to run 45 laps with 75% fuel. So watch out for that fuel window, which is around 28 to 31 laps. And you got to slow it down to 55 miles per hour or else you will be caught for speeding. Late afternoon is the session. But that wouldn't really affect engine temperatures as bad as it would. Looks like we're into qualifying. So we're going to scoot ourselves to the side and play the national anthem. Rise out, remove your hats as we salute our nation's colors. We welcome y'all back here live for the iSCAR Daytona Duel #1, about to get set to go green here in just momentarily. Currently, drivers taking their fastest two on the racetrack. Not like what we saw yesterday, in which there was a big LCQ to determine that top 38, but still important to qualify yourselves around this racetrack.
Yeah, and this is interesting compared to the bronze race we had last night. The bronze race was about 45 laps for a totality, but these are just two 45-lap qualifier races, and the field size is about the same. Of course, you know, you watch a real-life duel, you'll probably get maybe 20 to 25 cars in the duel, but we're having 40 cars just in the duel alone. So the amount of people that are showing up and the amount of talent that is in this field tonight is unlike anything we've probably ever seen here in iSCAR, and that's going to make it that much more challenging to get yourself into that top 20. So qualifying right now is going to be key, where if you can qualify yourself up front and try to stay up there the whole race, you might be in a good position to move on to the 250.
Yep, that is right. Currently, Kyler Wynn in the 84 holds the top spot as of right now. Again, the top 20 move themselves on to the 250 coming Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You go ahead and tune us in for that event as well, right after the truck event on Friday. So, looks like 21 drivers on qualified as of right now. The intervals, I mean, the fastest times you don't want to scroll around. We're going to have to go ahead and go to our intervals to see on where everybody stands. And I see a split difference on people who want to qualify and people who don't. So all these people who are qualifying, they're going to be in the top half of the field. And our last qualifier right now, Kenneth Bueno, in the number 17, he's currently sitting 24th. Looks like Omar Diallo, the number 12, make that 25.
Yeah, just as you mentioned, a bit of a split strategy. So some guys, of course, with only being a 45-lap race, may have the luxury to lay back for maybe the first 30 or 35 or so compared to the LCQs we had the other night, which were only 15. So definitely more time to work with in terms of laying back and working with strategies and whatnot. But just as a side note for the viewers at home, because this is a hosted session compared to a regular iRacing session, the numbers that everyone's running tonight are going to be different than the ones you saw last night and the ones you'll probably see the rest of this weekend. So just a heads up as you watch tonight, where the numbers you see on this leaderboard may not be the same ones you see for the truck race and the 250.
Yep, that is right. Looks like Omar is taking his final laps around the racetrack. Joe Berge currently sitting at the edge of turn number 1. William Schmidt, same thing as well. AJ Bain in the number 21. Good to see him out on the racetrack, that number 21. I'm excited to see how he does. There's a lot of people who are... A lot of rookies in and a lot of veterans. And can't mix those two together. I'm pretty sure we're going to have a wreck or two after this 45-lap event.
Well, we've got about only a handful of seconds to find out who will line up where, but we do know who's the pole sitter, and that is Kyler Wynn in the 84, so congratulations to him on what I believe is his first ever iSCAR pole, and starting alongside him in row number 1, Liam Sheen in the 002.
Yep, that is right. Row number 2 going to go ahead and consist of Colton Zimmer or Jack DeAndrea in the number 38.
DeAndrea, always a good qualifier here in iSCAR. Row 3, the 777 of Garrett Hess and Dominic Howe, who was pretty close in the bronze race last night.
Row number 4 going to consist of the man who finished second in the shootout, Keen M. Raleigh, Hunter Rupp, right alongside of him.
And rounding out your top 10, the 37 of Andy McDowell and Eli O'Quinn in the 29.
Rest of the order is going to be shown on your screen. Find your favorite driver, and hopefully he'll be inside that top 20 after 45 laps of racing. Of course, we have green white checkers as well. We have 3 attempts to get in a clean 2-lap race. And yesterday we did not get 2 clean laps, and we had to use all 3 attempts.
Yeah, we mentioned in the post-race last night that how clean the first half of the race was, and then just past halfway it became something. It became a mess. But we'll see how it turns out tonight. But there's a lot more transfer spots on the line, of course. That was just a regular race last night. But with 20 transfer spots on the line, I would expect there to be quite a few cautions here as this race goes on.
No doubt about it. And again, top 20 move themselves onto Saturday's show, and you got to get yourselves within, or else you will have to go home very, very early. I'm excited. I can't wait. A lot of hype coming in here for tonight. Who do you think is going to be in victory lane?
Well, you don't have to wait much longer. But this week, I'm 1 for 1 so far on pre-race predictions. Of course, I got Christopher Weil last night. But, man, this is a bit more challenging. I'm honestly not sure. I'm more unsure of who to pick tonight than I was last night. But I'm going to throw just a random name out there. And I'm going to go with the guy that was the runner-up in the 250 last year. Give me Grayson Trexler to win Duel 1.
All right. Yeah, I expect him to be one threat as well. But as these drivers roll off here for this event, I expect somebody who's yet to visit victory lane. I know he has a lot of bad luck, but that number 83, Joe Berge, he felt optimistic coming in here for tonight. I feel like that number 83 will top himself not only in the top 20, but in victory lane here for tonight.
You totally just jinxed him.
Oh, I probably did.
I sure hope not, man. Berge has come really, really close to winning more times than we can count between both of our hands. And it's about damn time that 83 car got a win in something. And who knows, maybe it'll happen tonight, maybe it'll wait a bit longer, but I don't think it would be a bad thing at all if that 83 car visited victory lane. I think that'd be a pretty popular win.
Oh, no doubt about it. He has so much bad luck, and hopefully he'll get one sometime this season. Of course, we run 20 events for the Truck, Cup, and Xfinity side, and 10 events, Super Late Model, and Bronze, so he has a lot of opportunities to put himself in victory lane. Here we go.
He's got 80 of them.
Yep. Oh boy. Not much to say once we... not much to say as of right now, but once that green flag drops, all bets are off. And here we go. Pace car is going to scoot itself onto pit road. And the number 84 of Kyler Wynn will lead the charge for Duel number 1. And we're up and away here at Daytona. Who will be the 20 that will move themselves on?
Good start there for Kyler on the bottom, but Liam Sheen also with a good start. He might have some momentum here going into 1 with the 38 of DeAndrea in tow. But the bottom side usually prevalent within the first couple laps, as evidenced already by Kyler. But out of 2, you'll probably see quite a few people start to drop to the back.
Up in here they go. A
there
lot
they
of people
go.
going to drop to the apron. Hopefully nobody runs into each other. 3x3 right behind. Looks like 3 rows deep. A bit of 4 wide, I guess you could call it, as more cars drop themselves to the apron and out of harm's way. Hunter, I think that's the
Whoa,
number
that was-
22, who's going to move himself up.
close. Hunter came up in front of Kean right there, and they almost made contact, and there was almost 3 wide contact in front of them as well. There were almost 2 near wrecks right there, just some guys trying to drop to the back. But Kyler will lead lap number 1, and it looks like there's a bit of a gap there on the outside, so the inside will probably be the prevalent line here until that gap can be closed.
It most likely will close, but man, speaking of gaps, you see the big gap right behind. Looks like there's a big separation between where all those drivers drop themselves to the apron, and this is around 17th place. If this thing goes green all the way, there's only about, I'd say, 4 spots up here, but looks like they're catching this main draft. So, it's not going to be a problem for right now.
Yeah, when Hunter dropped down into turn 3 to lay back a little bit, I think he came up off the apron too soon in front of Kean, and I think it stalled out quite a few guys that were back there. So that's why you have this bit of pack separation. If they stay together, that gap should close up in the not-too-distant future. But it looks like we have some potential 3-wide action here into 1. One of the Nova cars trying to make something work up on the outside, but no help for him at all.
That was the 08 of Dylan Basin, your shootout winner, trying to make something happen. He also has a teammate up there, and speaking of up there, the 09 will move himself up to the highest side on the 2nd floor. That's Colton Zimmer, and he's going to take the lead, getting a push from the 002 of Liam Sheen. So Colton Zimmer, as we saw in the preseason, that 09 was really, really strong, especially controlling the front at Michigan.
Yeah, Colton's been off to a great start in his iSCAR career, one of our rookies here this season, and one of the members of the aforementioned Dylan Basin's new race team. So a good start so far to Speed Weeks for Basin's new team here at Daytona. So trying to get the lead now on the outside, getting a good push from Liam. And Colton's again, so he'd already done pretty good. So he's got momentum on his side here as he tries to get his way to the front. But the outside, he hasn't quite been able to get built in yet, but it looks like they may now start to get a bit of an edge.
Sheen is,
Alright, man.
oh, looks like we have an early caution. And looks like it happened around that 2nd pack. I'm not sure. There's cars on the apron. Joe Berge involved. I see a bit of smoke. Oh, the 57. That's Max Brady.
The open winner, Max Brady, through the grass. Looks like some rear end damage for that 57 machine, so we're going to look and see what brought out our first caution, which is a fairly early one. So there's Brady.
Oh,
so, okay,
Berge.
this happened in front of him. Bergie's already going through the grass. Oh my, and somebody hit the inside wall really hard. One of those white cars.
Oh.
Yeah, there were 2 cars around on the actual racing surface, and it was in front of Brady, so we'll see where this wall... Oh!
Whoa, Joe had a problem.
Yeah, he just totally slowed down. There's that white car darting down on the
That's
inside
Seth
wall.
Rawls.
Yeah, that's Rawls in the 25s. That's going to be an LCQ for him, unfortunately. But
DeAngelis with a blown motor.
Yeah, I think DeAngelis was the one that ran over Bergie right there, and just nowhere for him or Seth Rawls to go.
A
34 nowhere to go. That's Clapperett, I think.
Wow. Oh, that sucks. That really, really sucks, seeing a really, really early wreck like that. And that seems to be another hardware issue. We've see a lot of hardware issues. Looks like one of them right there with the 83 of Joe Berge, who just literally slammed the brakes into turn number 3. I'm not really sure what that was about, but that just has to be a hardware issue.
Yeah, that's definitely a weird one, but unfortunately will take some people out of the race. So a couple people already in this duel, unfortunately, will have to make their way to the LCQ on Saturday night, and only the top 3 finishers from the LCQ make it into the Daytona 250, so that's not a place you want to go. And we see early pit stops here on lap number 6, and with the fuel window of about 28 or so laps, they will have to come down again before this race is over.
Yep, that is right. Everybody in and out really quickly. It seems as though AJ Bain in the number 21 did overshoot his pit stall. He missed his pit stall, so he's going to have to either wrap around to... I'm not even sure if we're 1 to go yet. No, we're still 2 to go, so that number 21 is going to have to work himself back onto pit road. Looks like Dylan Basin, he has to go ahead and wrap himself back around onto pit road. Eric Heater, he too missed pit road.
Good to see Heater back. First appearance in Speed Weeks for him, I believe. So good to see another returning face here in iSCAR. Excited to see what he can do this season.
Yeah, still currently holding the 20th place spot is William Schmidt in the number 79 and the Keen M Rally. And that number 27 who was in front of that big wreck. I mean, behind that big wreck, he found himself around it. But 27, he currently sits 21st as of right now. He's on the apron. I'm not sure if he's trying to save as much fuel. Oh, we still have a long ways to go till the end of the race. Looks like 40 laps to go, and this fuel window is around 30-ish laps, so he's not going to make it all the way to the end.
Yeah, there's no way, even if you save fuel now, that you'll make it to the end, but we should get the one to go here, and indeed we will. So Kyler Wen still your leader. As you see, quite a few cars that may have overshot or stayed out before will now come down pit road, so hopefully they can catch up before the green flag comes back out. But that 84 car, I believe, has led every lap so far, so the car to beat in the early part of this race.
Yep.
Looks like Hunter Ellis is a DNS for tonight's duel, currently shown 6 laps down, so he'll have to go to the LCQ as well.
There's 20 people. There's 21 people who are going to go to the LCQ. That is more people than the people. That number itself.
We're gonna have 42 cars for 3 spots on Saturday.
That's nuts.
That is gonna be probably one of the craziest things that will ever happen in this league. Of course, 21 from tonight and either 21 or 22 from duel number 2 later on tonight. So we're going to have anywhere from 40 to 43 cars for 3 spots. And I'm not sure how long the LCQ is, but I believe it's shorter than these duels are. So if you end up starting, 30th or even farther back in that LCQ, your chances of getting in are pretty slim.
Looks like it wasn't a hardware issue for Joe Berge. We're getting reports. Looks like he just hit the brakes, thinking there was a wreck because a bit of people blinking through, and of course when people blink there's smoke, and looks like Joe just overreacted and jammed the brakes, and unfortunately people ran him over right behind. Yeah, that sucks.
Green.
Green flag is back out. We're up and away for the first restart of the night. A bit of contact there on that high side as drivers trying to get themselves going. Grayson Strexler trying to push the number 29 of Eli O'Quinn, and Grayson, the big loser off of that, he's falling out outside the top 10.
Yeah, in terms of what happened with Burge, that's more than likely not the first time that that's happened to somebody on iRacing, and more than likely not the last time either. It just sucks that a mistake like that happens in this duel, but looks like the outside's starting to gain some steam here. Liam Sheen leading that charge up high, and Kyler Wynn has a new car below him. That is the 26 of Aiden Saunders, who we haven't seen in a while, so good to see him back as well. Bit of a wobble there from that 26, but keeps it going in the right direction, and Sheen will come down and take the race lead.
Saunders seems as though he seems to be a bit wobbly as of right now. I'm not sure if he changed the steering ratio right or what, but he is having a bit of handling issues on that
hit the apron
side.
Again.
Yeah. Oh, battle up front for the lead. The 84 is going to move himself to the highest side. Number 2 by 2 stacked to 5 for his deep. The 84, Kyler Wynn, wants his pull back.
Yeah, good aggressive move there for the 84. I'm a bit surprised that he did it this early, and Liam Sheen looks like he's just going to back right out of that mix. He must not like what's going on. And to the inside goes the 30 of Dominic Cowan. That will put him to the point with Aiden right behind him still.
Aiden still tagging the apron. That number 26 seems as though it's going to be a problem for him.
I can see why Liam backed out of that, because I'm of course, it's bad to assume that someone's just a bad driver because of that, something like that.
Yeah, Aiden's been in victory lane before.
Agreed, but when you see something like that, when you're wobbling over and over again, Dominic gets pushed down onto the apron, does a nice job of hitting the brakes, and everybody misses him. Thankfully, we stay green, but a tough break there for the 30. But when you see a guy on your inside wobbling that much, I wouldn't want to be above him either.
Yep, that's right. Meanwhile, up front, because Dominic jammed himself onto the apron,
Baker.
that allowed some more people on the high side to get into the mix.
Look
3
at
wide,
the
right
12
behind
up
the number
there.
12 of Omar Diallo, one of the new names into the picture. That number 12, I know, just recently joined the league. That 12 works himself inside the top 10.
Jonathan T. Baker leading that high side in the 36, the runner-up last night in the Yost Auto Sales Series race. So a good start to Speed Weeks for that 36. Michael Kenner up there third on the high side. Good run for him so far, as Wynn will go back up once again to try and reclaim the race lead. But Colton Zimmer now leading the bottom side with Saunders still second in tow. Another wobble there for Aiden. He's having a hard time trying to hold the line. That's, again, a bit concerning for the guys around him, but hopefully he can get that through away as quickly as possible.
Dropping himself to the insides, the 84, Kyler Wynn, a bit of 3 wide right behind one of the orange machines. I was about to say SDM, but of course...
Oh, God. No,
yeah,
Kurt. Bad.
That's pretty cursed. The 72, Liam Knox, was the one right up against the safer barrier. And so right now, we'll scroll ourselves back all the way to this 20th place. So this is being held by Shane Mantova as of right now. Right behind him, that's Aaron Mulrooney, the first car out.
Yeah, that's unlike Mulrooney to be back there, but this could be him just laying back for the time being. Of course, still 34 laps to go, as it looks like, I think, is that Liam Sheen, I think, that just dropped back? I'm not honestly sure
That was
who
Brady.
that was. So Brady goes to the back, and now Jonathan T. Baker down to the bottom side will take the race lead, with Kyler Wynn now behind him. And Kenner will now be first up on the high side. So a lot of guys moving around, as Kenner with a big move down low. So top 4 or 5 now, single file.
Yeah, that was Brady just trying to get out of the way for the leaders. He's dropped himself to the apron, and now we single ourselves out. Top 3 now getting into a rhythm. Unless Kyler Wynn wants to pull himself out of line and gun for the top spot. Not going to make a difference anyway, because first or second, you're still going to qualify yourself into that 250, but maybe a boost of momentum. Whoa, Aiden hopped himself to the high side, and one of those cars did not like that at all.
Yeah, Aiden just jumped up right in front of the 29 of Eli O'Quinn. That was a pretty late move up there. I'm sure the 29 did not appreciate that very much, but no worse for wear. But Aiden's right on the back bumper of that 84 now. If I was Kyler Wynn, I'd be a bit worried now coming out of 4 and through the trial oval. But Jonathan T. Baker looks like he'll lead another lap here, lap number 13.
That's really cool for that number 36, Jonathan T. Baker, who finished, I think, 2nd or 3rd in the bronze race. That number 36 now leading laps here at Daytona. He's going to encounter one of the lap cars, that's Seth Rawls, who's just trying to survive as of right now. Looks like the 84 is going to drop himself to the low side, so now we open the door up for Aiden Saunders, and he might be getting split in the middle.
Yeah, I think Eli will try to go 3 wide and got shuffled out of there with no help. So Omar Diallo now second up on the high side. No, Quinn will be able to get up back in the line, but Aiden now goes back down to the bottom. So very squirrely for that 26 so far, but you know, aggressive drivers are something that either you like or you don't like. But for Aiden, that's just how he races, and for right now, it's got him in the top 5.
Yep, that's right. You have to be a bit aggressive to keep yourselves inside that top 20, and you know, Aiden's worked himself. I think, yeah, top 5. What am I thinking? That number 28, 26. Oh! Kyler goes around, runs for the back!
Oh, that's everybody.
Oh, these people have to dodge themselves.
Aiden Saunders. Oh, that is a lot of people. Eli O'Quinn, Colton Zimmer. It's an absolute parking lot on the backstretch. Everybody seemingly involved in that one. Jonathan T. Baker, we were just talking about him. He's in that. I think Omar Diallo involved in that.
Oh, that's
DeAndre,
a big wreck.
Yellow car. That was a lot of people.
Wow.
And that's going to shuffle the hell out of this leaderboard.
No doubt about it. And we're going to see some new names work themselves inside this top 20 because of it. And that started up front where one car did not get... looks like Aiden pushed the 14. I'm not really sure what happened there.
He might have. Yeah, Kenner was on the bottom. I think he got a huge push from Aiden and shoved him up into the 14. Right
either
there.
the 14 was drifted up high. I'm not really sure about that. We're going to have to get a different replay.
Okay, so Baker missed that. That was another one of the Nova cars that was involved. So Wynn gets hooked right there. Baker gets through, and then everybody else just absolutely nowhere to go. Trexler in there as well.
22.
Hunter Rupp. Yeah, that's Rupp. Kenner does a nice job of not hitting the inside wall. He might be able to continue.
I think Kenner washed up It wasn't like any contact there with the 26. I'm not sure. It was really, really close. But either way, the 14 went up the racetrack and clipped the outside line. And look how many cars pile in.
Kean does a nice job of missing that. Cole Williams looks like got some rear end damage from the 38 of DeAndrea, but with the wreck happening up at the lead like that, there's just nothing anybody behind them can do, and that's how wrecks like this become as big as they do. But some people more fortunate than others. A couple of them did, in fact, miss this without any damage, but for some that may take them out of contention tonight.
That's really unfortunate.
That was big.
That was big. As you said, it's going to shuffle this top 20 as pit stops are up. Driver's going to go ahead and probably elect with 4 tires and fuel. We're sitting on, how many laps to go?
28 to go.
28 to go, so you will make it from this point forward, but it's going to be close.
Yeah, I believe the window is, I want to say, 28 to 31. So coming to 28 to go next time by, it's going to be very close for these guys. But with the way this race has gone so far, it would not surprise me if we do have another caution after this, in which case fuel will no longer be an issue. But the leader of the race now, the 29 of Eli O'Quinn, looks like he did not pit right there, so he'll assume the lead. Baker looks like he's now back into third after being in first. So this will be for Eli's first lap sled of Speed Weeks.
Yep. Eli, looks like this is going to be his first lap sled. Started himself. Well, looks like he's missing a hood, unfortunately, so he has a lot of damage on his machine. He's going to have to come down on the pit road and get repaired. Aiden Kirker, and that number 39, looks like he's the first person out. Fuel only stopped for that number 39. Now he shoves himself to the front.
Interesting strategy call there for the 39, and quite honestly, I'm surprised more people didn't go fuel only, and that a lot of people took tires for such a short race like the Duel. And it looks like the 29 will indeed come down pit road, and he'll actually take Kirker, Baker, and a few others with them. Baker does a nice juke right there to get back on track, but Kirker and O'Quinn, first 2 down the pit lane, so we'll get the 1 to go here, so a lot of guys need to start catching up to this pack, but I believe that will give Baker the lead once again.
That is right, and man, that eliminated a ton of potential contenders for that top 20. So we're going to have some more people move themselves into that window. Boy. So it's top 3, Jonathan T. Baker, Liam Sheen, Kenneth Bueno, Dylan Basin, and Eric Heater as of right now.
Yeah, so definitely new faces up towards the front with that huge wreck occurring. And Kenneth Bueno there in 4th. So good to see him up there having a good run. Of course, one of our part-time commentators here in iSCAR and over when we do the Redline series. So good to see him having a good run there up in that 17. Be sure to check his channel out if you have a chance.
Well, go ahead and aim the camera around this 20th spot. Looks like Mitch Hobbs, AJ Bain, Thomas Lloyd. Looks like AJ is going back a couple of positions, maybe get himself realigned, but Blaze Crawford around this position, William Schmidt. All these people around this area topped off, so they're going to have to start single file, get themselves organized for this restart. iSCAR going to scoot itself left, and to the green goes the number 36, Jonathan T. Baker.
And the 36, the only one in the top 5 to not be involved in that most recent incident. You see Liam Sheen in the 002 qualified outside pole, now back up in that 2nd spot after dropping back earlier on. He'll make a move up to the high side in front of, I want to say, Dylan Basin leading the high side. A bit of a gap between Baker and Bueno, so this should give Sheen the lead here out of 2.
Yep, that's right. Sheen getting a huge shot, and he's going to drag most like the top 3. No, Bason's going to drop himself to the low side. And what a move by the Yelway, but unfortunately for him, Baker was so slow off of turn number 2 that he's not really hooked up with him. But here we go. The 36 going to pull back to the backside of that 08, excuse me, of Bason. Up to the front straightaway to go.
Baker washed up a bit there at a 4. We were mentioning guys that were out before that we were a bit surprised to see out. That 2 of Aaron Mulrooney, now 3rd on the outside. So that 2 car slowly but surely made his way up to the front and is now in contention for a dual victory here tonight.
Yep, that is right. And I'd say 2x2, 4 rows deep, 3 wide right behind to the right side of your screen. Some cars trying to juke out. Looks like one of the rookies of Blake Kennedy in the 175.
Poor
He's
guy.
getting left out to dry.
Yeah, I guess the guys at the super speedways don't like to race with the rookies so often, and Blake Kennedy getting a hard lesson in that. But still running in the top 15 though, so he's still in a transfer spot for that 175. But that may become a problem for him later on in the race. If he gets left out with about 5 laps to go, that could be the difference between him making it and being in the LCQ.
Yep, that is right. We're stacked up 2x2, 6 rows deep now. A bit of double wide action right behind this main pack as well. But we have 2 solid lines of Liam Sheen and Dylan Bason being led into turn number 3. And seems as though the last person in, that number 4, Blaze Crawford, is slowly pulling away from Mitch Hobbs. But if this pack separates themselves and Blaze Crawford can't catch up to this main pack and get himself situated, there's going to be a big cutoff around that 20th spot. So,
well, this second pack looks like it's going to quickly merge in with the first pack. Blaze may lose some spots in the process, but they're all very close enough where that should close up pretty shortly. Got some pretty wide there in the middle with 2. Looks like Liam Knox in the 72 tried to make a move, but no help for him, as Bason continues to lead on the bottom, and Sheen now first on the top with K&M Rally pushing him into 3.
Only 3 cars. No, Sheen's going to work himself right up against the safer barrier, so it looks like he does not want to be that outside car anymore. And that'll open up the door for the number 27, a K&M Rally, who has a nice pusher of the 2 of Aaron Mulrooney right behind him. I expect that outside lane to start riling forward here in just a moment. Still 3 wide right behind, as AJ Bain going to go ahead and split out Liam Sheen.
Yeah, Sheen's dropping. I'm not sure if he wanted that to happen or if he just only drove into 3, but regardless, he's still losing a lot of positions there on the outside. But it looks like he should now be able to file in, and he does, in front of Trexler. But if you want any guy pushing you at Daytona, Aaron Mulrooney is not a bad guy to have push you at all. So for Kean, I'm thinking he's pretty comfortable right now up on that high side, but we'll have to see if he stays up there, if he can clear Basin when he gets to him.
Looks like a bit of disconnection there with Hunter Rupp and that number 22 and the 21 around AJ Bain. Of course, 2 of those drivers, supreme drivers, maybe trying to work with each other. Maybe Hunter wanted to let AJ in line. AJ now has a spot right behind to work himself in. But up front, we have all sorts of teams. Evo, Nova, Jonathan T. Baker, I think, is an independent. Now the 2 of Mulrooney is also an independent. That's somebody you have to keep in mind for the free agency as well, because of course SPG now falling into shambles. This opens up the door for some teams to maybe pick up some really valuable drivers.
Yeah, I was talking to Mulrooney last night about that after the dissolution of SPG, and he said for the time being he's going to run solo, but he did leave the door open and potentially join a team if a good enough offer came up. So we'll have to see what happens with that 2 car, but for right now, on his own, but I'm sure he'll work with anybody that would offer him to, at least at a track like this.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Currently sitting in the top 20 as of right now. We also got to scroll back to, looks like Gabe Allen in the number 19, who works himself inside this top 20. And the first car out, Liam Knox in the 72. So still a lot of drivers in this main pack. I see about 30 up in contention. And I think we're still going to see a pit stop. I'm not sure as AJ makes a daring move to the low side to fill right in front of the 22. Meanwhile, up front, K&M Rally. He's going to clear the O-way to Basin and move the 27 to the front.
That's going to put Mulrooney first on the outside with Omar Diallo right behind him, and I believe Howe in third. But Kean was the runner-up in the shootout last week, so a good start to Speed Weeks for Keane, and now he leads the duel just past the halfway point. But can he stay up there?
I don't know. He's getting challenged for the man who beat him on the high side. That's the 08 of Dylan Basin. Now holding along to Tuel Mulrooney. So the top two finished 1-2 in the shootout. Of course, there was a lot of contact coming out to the wire for that $40. And even a bigger prize for this $250 on Saturday. $80 on the line for that race. As looks like Keane's going to go ahead and pull ahead by a car length over the 08.
Yeah, on top of winning the first race of the season at Daytona, which is pretty cool in its own right, you end up $80 richer if you do as well. So a lot of, I guess, wants and a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for here? Motivation for these guys to get themselves into the 250 and get themselves a good starting spot. Because as a reminder, I'm not, are the duel results going to be the starting lineup for the 250, or is it going to be its own qualifying?
It's going to do its own qualifying.
Okay, so scratch that, but because of course, the way NASCAR does it is you have the top two locked in qualifying, but then the winner of Duel 1 starts in third. But not the case here, but either way, a duel win is a duel win.
Trexler had a big wiggle there off of turn number 4. I'm not really sure, and opened up the door for a couple of cars to jut themselves in. Trexler, daring move there to cut right in front of, looks like the 175 of Blaze Kennedy.
Yeah, Trexler makes that work, but it looks like they're single file after these first 5 rows. Not a lot of people on the outside once you get behind, I think, Liam Sheen. But for right now, Basin still in that high side, but hasn't been able to pull even with Keane again. But into 3 with Mulrooney right there. This may be where Basin can come down and clear.
A lot of jamming up on the inside as Aiden scoots himself back to the bottom side. Some more scrambling right behind, but for right now, it's all Keane and Basin. The top two, 5 rows deep, 2 by 2. One car stopped on the apron. I'm not sure. That's Frank DeAngelis. He might have run out of fuel. Is that going to be a caution?
Well,
I'm not sure.
His engine was smoking earlier after the first wreck, so his engine may have
expired.
There's Eli O'Quinn there on the bottom, so he's going to go a lap down, if not maybe 2. But a tough break for DeAngelis, so LCQ for him. Looks like we do have one lapped car, this yellow car in the frame. I'm not sure who that is, but
Kyler Wynn.
Yeah, it was in second place in the pole sitter for tonight earlier. So it looks like it'll probably LCQ for him as well. But here you see Basin starting to get a run on the outside, so he might be able to clear here out of 4, and we'll see if he can here at the line. But just a reminder that the first and second place drivers right now were also the first and second drivers in the shootout, so I'm sure Keane definitely wants to win this battle tonight.
Yep, that is correct. 16 laps to go left in this race. Now we're seeing more aggressive racing up here inside this top 10. We're stacked up, I'd say, 2 by 2. Oh, looks like the number 21 of AJ is going to drop himself to the low side, going to open up the door for Sheen to slot himself in line. AJ is going to have to go all the way back here to maybe slot himself. No, it looks like Blaze is going to be a bit nice to him and let him in line. And this will disrupt that inside line just a bit. Looks like Gabe Allen found himself around. But how about some other people we haven't really talked about? Liam Sheen. I mean, of course, he was up front there. But Kenneth Bueno, Dominic Howe, and Hunter Rupp now inside this top 10.
Yeah, Hunter was involved in the first incident, I believe, with Joe Burgee. So good to see him back in this top 10. Omar Diallo with still a solid run for that 12 car, currently in 6th up on that high side. Dominic Howe was running pretty good in the bronze race last night before being caught up in one of the late race incidents. He's up there in the top 10. So a couple guys in this field looking for redemption between whether it's the shootout or the bronze race. But regardless, a lot of guys you may not have expected to having good runs tonight.
Yep, that is right. Some people racing for that top 20. Some people racing for just the win by itself. I know Gabe Allen, he's just here. Just he doesn't care if he...
I'm here for the SR.
Yeah, just about.
So 14 to go here. Bit of a gap there between Baker and Kenneth Bueno on the bottom, so that should allow the outside to pull ahead just a little bit. But Keane is really, really strong on that inside, and here's the big push I was waiting for. And now we'll see if Basin clears, and indeed he will. So that 08 retakes the lead here into 3. But can Mulrooney get a big enough push from Diallo to do the same thing?
Oh, looks like they're stacking up on the inside. Baker tried to push Kean, but he was jammed in behind the 08. And this will allow the outside line to pull forward. So Mulrooney in that number 2, getting a huge shot from Omar Diallo. Now, looks like a lot more single file racing than I thought. I'd expect them to be stacked up 2x2 even further, but Aiden Saunders going to slide himself to the inside of that number 17. A lot of wiggling there as one car tagged the apron. That was Kenneth. Might have been a reaction to that number 12 getting a bit out of line.
Yeah, this is the interesting thing is, unlike in real life, the results from this duel do not determine the starting lineup for the 250, so quite literally does not matter whether you finish 1st, 15th, or 20th. As long as you're in the top 20, you're into the 250 regardless. And looks like the field goes single file around a lap car that goes high and a lap car that goes low. So this is going to snake the field into the trial void. This is going to really shake some things up as that lap car is going to be trapped in the pack, and that's going to really screw over a couple people, and it looks like he's a lot slower than the cars around him.
I wouldn't say that's the 18 of Nick and Delicato. I wouldn't. Looks like he has a clean car, so he's going to be good enough to stay within this pack. He just has to keep himself clean and stay off of bumpers as one car is going to drop himself to the apron. That's a 34.
Good Clapper.
Oh!
Contact! Kenneth and Aiden. That would have been big, but they keep it going. And Delicato is fast enough to stay in the pack, but the speed difference between him on his own and the pack approaching him definitely disrupted that inside. And you saw that with Kenneth dropping from 5th to looks like 7th or 8th now.
Yep, that is right. Now, we hit 11 laps to go. Some drivers getting more aggressive. This number 18 is going to play a big factor into this because there's going to be a big bottleneck. No, it looks like he's going to drop himself the apron, so a good nod to this this main pack who has actually split themselves up into 2 separate packs. Looks like the 15, Blaze Kennedy is all the way back here. Gabe Allen by himself, Aiden Kirker, Cole Williams. Maybe all these people are, I'm not sure if they're saving fuel, but all these people, as of right now, they're sort of floating along this tail end of the lead pack. And I'm pretty sure they're betting for a wreck.
Well, that's the transfer spot around where they are. Eric Keeter currently shown in 20th. That 28 car in the middle of that group of cars is the last transfer spot. So they may be laying back for now, but don't be surprised if there's aggression back there, as one car actually just got the outside wall out of turn 2. I'm not sure who that was. As they go 3 wide for the lead here to 3, and Mulrooney, after being up there all night almost, will take the lead coming to 9 to go.
Yep, that is right. So move the number 2, Mulrooney, now up to the top spot. And I'd say right now is the time to get yourself in position for that top 20. And I expect them to get yep, that's right. I expect these people to get even more racier here in a moment.
As if they couldn't be racier enough, but with 9 laps to go, expect the unexpected. But great run for that 21 so far, into the top 5 for the first time tonight. Looking for his first ever iSCAR win, points paying or not. As Kean will dive down to the bottom. AJ might get shoved 3 wide here, but he'll manage to get himself in front of Basin. And now Diallo and Sheen will make a 3 wide move here in the middle of 3, but they're really bunching up. This is going to be tight out of 4.
Yep, that is right. Right behind the number 21 of the 08. It looks like that third lane is starting to kick in some measures, but unfortunately, they're not going to go anywhere as of right now. The inside line gets a bit disrupted as Aiden clips the apron yet again. 3x3, 2 rows back, but now that outside line looks like it fell apart. And Omar and Sheen are going to have to file themselves back to that outside line. Looks like Basins want to split. Oh, whoa! What a block by AJ. He opens up the door for the middle, though.
Baker tries to make a move up the middle. Somebody's going to get shuffled out. It looks like it's going to be Diallo in the 12. But a big block from AJ keeps himself first on the high side. Diallo trying to make his way back in, but the gap has closed for him. But with that move on the outside, that's definitely going to give the advantage now to the inside, and a move to the outside from Mulrooney, trying to get the lead away from Kean. 7 laps to go.
7 laps to go. These drivers have to be aware of each other and aware of their position. No matter what, all these drivers inside this top 10 are probably going to be solidified unless if they wreck. You don't want to wreck yourself. Stay in line and work together to get yourselves all the way to the white flag.
Well, they definitely look like they want to wreck. They've come pretty close a couple of times in the last handful of laps. But hopefully for all these guys up here, they stay where they are and don't wreck. But Dominic now second on the bottom, so that 30 car trying to get his first win of Speed Weeks, and Aiden back up there in the top 10 as well. Now we're starting to see the 3 wide potentially start to work. See Basin and Omar up there, but no help beyond those two. So unless more guys jump up there with them, the third line's going to do pretty much nothing here.
Yep, that's right. They're going to have to probably foul themselves behind that number 36, so Jonathan T. Baker. Unless that gap closes between himself and that number 4 of Blaze Crawford, and it did, so they're going to have to be outside the top 10 momentarily unless they could get another third line roll in. Looks like Dominic Howell got a bit out of line. This might help the outside line of that number 2 and 21.
And Kean still leads here to 3. I thought Mulrooney may have gotten shuffled 3 wide there, but he stays in command of the outside. Dominic now all by himself in second as he's actually cleared Mulrooney. So there the 30 will jump up high, as I expected he would once he got clear. And to the line, it's going to be a drag race, but I believe Kean will lead that lap.
Looks like AJ's wanting to make that third line work. Mulrooney tried to cut him off, and AJ now to the high side. Dominic in the middle, and the number 27 on the bottom side of Kean M. rallying 3x3, 3 rows deep.
Now, can the third line start to get something to work? Now that they have 3 cars up there instead of 2, can they start to gain themselves some momentum? But I think they need 1 or 2 more cars to get up there before they can really start to make any moves. But speaking of moves, Dominic to the bottom and to the race lead. Oh, a near wreck right there. How did they hold on to that? 4 to go at the stripe.
4 to go at the stripe, and
no!
Sheen! I think Sheen got, no, looks like he has to merge himself back into the racetrack.
Nice job, Liam.
Now, look at the second pack. The second pack is now pushing the issue. They want to get themselves up in position for this top 20. The first car out is currently the number 40 of Thomas Lloyd.
So Sheen just went from pretty securely in to the second car out. So that 002 needs to get his butt in gear to get himself back in that top 20 before this race ends. But here comes Baker. Will he clear into 3? Looks like he's going to stay up on the high side. Now he comes down to that 36 to the point. Just 3 more laps at Daytona, but will they make it back, or will we have green light checkers?
I'm not sure. They're starting to get stacked up right behind. I'm pretty sure because all these people are pushing right behind, they're probably going to be the catalyst of the wreck. The first car out is the number 40 of Thomas Lloyd. The first one in is the number 28. So watch out around this position as well. And Sheen now works himself up on the high side. He's trying to pass himself and work himself into the top 20.
Baker still leads coming out of turn 2. Dominic maintaining the high side. A reminder that all these guys are secure, but they do want to go for the dual win. I believe Sheen and Gabe Allen trying to make that high side work as a couple more lapped cars get themselves out of the way. But they're still side by side for the lead here into 3. 2 more circuits around this 2.5 mile super speedway as Basin gets shuffled out of line out of 4, and that'll put, I believe, Omar back into second on the high side.
Oh, Mulrooney goes up to the high side.
Nice move for Aaron. That might give him the lead into 1. Then need a really big push from Dominic. Not going to be enough into 1, but we'll see if we can get him out of 2.
Here we go. Oh, Mitch is on the wall as he tried to move himself to the high side. They're 3 wide right behind for that position. All in a matter of all of that. Look at this. Around this 20th place, they're pushing the issue, trying to get themselves into that top 20.
Will they make it around green, or will they
They're
wreck
blocking for
green?
20th place.
And I don't blame them one bit. I don't even know who's got the transfer spot. Aiden Kirker, Liam Sheen, Gabe Allen, all around that 20th place. But Jonathan T. Baker, the man of the hour, coming to the white flag at Daytona. Will they wreck right here? Will they make it back green? What a move by Keenan, a big block by Baker. The white flag is out. This will be the last lap of the race. Who will take the checkered flag?
Oh my goodness, Dominic Howell cut the crap out of that number 12. I'm surprised there was no wreck. They're stacking up now, double wide right behind as the back now scoots themselves together. The 20th spot, here comes Ken up on the high side. Aiden's also going to be in there as well.
Aiden's still pretty squirrely. AJ had a run but had to let off or else he would have turned that number 2, and Baker with a move. And here comes Aiden to the bottom. Kean's there. Around goes Baker and Kean. They wreck up the track. Then it goes
wrecking. Holy crap. Look at themselves in the top 20. They're still wrecking.
Mitch Hobbs is upside
AJ
down.
Bain to the lead!
Turn 4. AJ Bain, the bridesmaid no more, will win duel number 1 at Daytona.
And now, we have to scroll back. There's so many people that are wrecking. Who's going to get themselves in the top 20?
Who's
Looks like
motor will
Liam
fire
Knox.
before the
I'm
line?
not sure. It's just, look at all these people. Oh, they're flying
no!
in. They're flying in.
Clapper, oh my goodness, they're still wrecking.
They're still wrecking.
Just hit the outside
William
wall.
Schmidt squeezes himself through. He gets himself in the top 20.
William! Oh my goodness, William Schmidt. Thomas Lloyd gets across the line. Who is 20th?
Blake Kennedy is the last one
What?
in. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding
Mulrooney's
me?
out. Mulrooney's out.
And
20
Mulrooney
seconds.
is out.
Oh
No!
no!
Mulrooney is
21st.
out.
He's the first car out.
Mulrooney's.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Aaron,
Holy
no.
crap. I can't believe AJ Bain won it, but I cannot believe Mulrooney's out either. I'm shocked. I have no words.
That took everybody out. As we'll get a look and see what happened as AJ burns it down with a blown motor and his first career win in iSCAR, points paying or not, finally for AJ as he managed to survive the chaos into turn 3 and came out a winner, and he will advance on to the 250 along with the first 19 cars behind him, and we'll get a replay of what happened and your unofficial duel results.
Oh my gosh. I did not
Unbelievable.
expect it to play it that way. That was a mess. That was messy.
As soon as the 36 got pushed down, I knew that was going to be absolute chaos when he came back up the hill. And boy, did it become chaos, because that wadded up everybody.
Holy cow.
You see all this scrambling here into one, so I thought this may have been where the wreck would occur, but they managed to keep it going here, and it didn't really start to become an issue until right here, the Aiden got tight or washed up right there. AJ lets off to not hit the 26, and then this is where the problems really start to happen as Kian makes a move here on Baker, who's trying to block for his life, and gets turned with Aiden right there, and at this point, there's no saving that car, and everybody
gosh! That has to be...
Omar Diallo in the fence, Mitch Hobbs goes around. There were at least 4 or 5 cars on their roofs, and we did have a catch fence hit there with the 12, but we'll have to see who else flipped over, because there was quite a few of them. But out of all of that, AJ Bain escapes your winner. But right here, Baker goes to block Kian and tries to block Aiden, but not enough real estate to do so, and you can only block so many times before you end up getting wrecked. And this is where everybody piles in. Hunter in there, I think upside down. There's Kian, what's left of his car. There's Mulrooney down on the apron. And then what we really saw happen was there were a bunch of guys that were laying way back that were still going full pace. There's Gabe Allen, one of them, and some of these guys ran into the cars that were already wrecked. You'll see right here out of 4, these guys are trying to make it back to the line with their damaged cars. And now watch these guys coming in the back. There's Clapper running into them, and a couple more wrecked. And you'll see William right there weaving his way across the line to make it in. But absolute pandemonium into turn 3.
Oh my gosh.
Unreal.
I'm so stunned. Holy cow. We'll go over our results before we get some interviews. AJ Bain wins. Dominic Howe in second. Peter Kenny, where did he come from?
He somehow escaped it, but a podium finish for Peter nonetheless. My pre-race pick, Grayson Trexler, he gets 4th, so a good run for him. Colton Zimmer makes his first 250 in his first attempt, rounds out your top 5. Shane Diamantova, good run for him. Gabe Allen didn't really care if he made it in or not, but god damn it, Gabe Allen got in, so watch out for him in the 250 on Saturday night. Jacob Corley, I think that's Corway actually, in 8th place. Kenneth Bueno in 9th, and rounding out your top 10, Dylan Basin in the 08.
Cole Williams, Blaze Crawford, Liam Sheen, Aiden Kirker, Eric Heater, Kian M. Rowley, William Schmidt, Omar Diallo, Thomas Lloyd, and Blake Kennedy round out the top 20, and here is where the heartbreak is going to come into effect. All these people right here did not make it.
Baker
Jonathan T. Baker, yeah, holy crap.
Second one out for him. Liam Knox, 23rd. Aiden Saunders was second on the bottom out of turn 2. He ends up 24th. Hunter Rupp was in that mix as well, 25th. Joe Burgee, bad luck for him, continues LCQ for that 83. Mitch Hobbs, we saw upside down in that wreck. He'll be 27th. Rounding out your top 30, Brayson Collins, Nick Indelicato, and Andy McDowell. So all the cars on this screen, all the ones on this one, LCQ Saturday night.
DeAndrea Hess had a bit of issues. I'm not really sure what happened to him. DeAndrea, Kenner, Clappert, O'Quinn, Wynn, DeAngelis, Granada, Brady, and Rawls. Brady and Rawls, huge, just those two. I expected those people to get themselves in. Of course, Hunter Ellis did not get himself through. We're going to go ahead and scoot ourselves to the side and get a couple things situated as of right now. We'll be right back right after this. Stay tuned. There's more to come. This live stream is presented to you by MaxSpeed TV. All live streaming content that is presented in this telecast is owned by MaxSpeed TV, Rudy Cummings, and the entire crew of MSTV. This may not be rebroadcasted, retransmitted, and retelevised without written consent. Please enjoy today's broadcast. Welcome here back live for the post-race here in series title, race title. I'm just joking. This is the dual race here at Daytona. Of course, rounding himself out in victory lane is that machine right there, the number 21 of AJ Bain, who cannot get interviewed because he woke up his mom. But congratulations to AJ Bain anyway in that number 21. Yeah, he's probably super stoked, but we'll go ahead and interview a couple of drivers.
It really do be like that sometimes.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and drag in our top 5, and of course, our last person who made it in, Blake Kennedy and Thomas Lloyd as well, but like not even the top 3. Oh, looks like Dominic is in here. We'll go ahead and drag him into the booth. Yep. Hey, Dominic, this is Ezeckiel Reyes up here in the MaxSpeed TV booth. You got a copy?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Oh my goodness, man. That was hectic from start to finish, and that white flag was nuts. And, man, Dominic, what you see out of your windshield?
Actually, I was looking in my rearview mirror for, like, 3/4 of that lap, because Omar tried taking it 3 in the tri-oval, almost killed me there, and then I had to shuffle him, and then down the backstretch, people trying to take me 3, so I had to block there, and then I saw them wreck in front of me and just went high, turned key in, but, oh well. And couldn't catch AJ because, I had to lift, but get second a lot, another second, woohoo.
That's right, but luckily for you, a second locks yourself into 250 for Saturday's race. Congratulations. Oh, man. Dominic, gunning for $80 coming on Saturday. You excited?
Actually, I'm not sure if I can make it, so I just ran this race for fun. If my schedule works, I will be there.
All right, bud. 10-4. Dominic Howe rounds himself out in second place after starting himself in 6th. Before we let you go, any sponsors want to take care for tonight's race?
I got F1 Firearms on the car. They're pretty cool. They make custom guns. They're pretty cool people. And currently on Proximity Racing, they're a pretty good team too. And didn't really have anyone help me this race, but thanks to everyone who will help me in the future.
10-4. Dominic Howe rounds himself out in second place. Can't wait to talk to you coming out for after the evening.
Yep, thank you.
Dominic Howe in the number 30. We'll go ahead and drag in the number 35. Actually listed as the number 19, Peter Kenny, into the booth.
All right, Peter, got a copy?
Yeah.
Well, somehow, in some way, you have managed to get yourself a top 5 at a plate track in a race that, maybe you wouldn't have, but what did you see out of your windshield when they wrecked into turn 3?
Well, I'm going to start off first by saying congrats to AJ, because that was awesome. And, I already had damage from that first wreck, because I ran into the back of somebody that I did not know they were wrecking at all. So I was down 13 RPM and almost blowing up every, 5 laps. So it was a hard race to last about 25 laps, but kind of just stayed up in the main pack for the rest of the race, and then the last lap I just held on the bottom the whole race, and then the wreck happened. I just kept on the bottom and got it straightened out and finished third.
Well, you played your cards right for sure, and even if you got 20th instead of third, you are locked into the 250. So what's your game plan going into Saturday to try and get yourself $80?
Well, I'm just gonna try to, maybe qualify in the front, run a few laps in the front, and drop to the back, and just play it safe like I did today. Just trying to get involved in any wrecks on Saturday.
Well, it worked for you once. Maybe it'll work for you again. Hey, before we let you go, any sponsors or people you want to thank here tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to give a big shout out to Wavy Burgod for again being on the card today. Make sure to follow him on Instagram for some revolutionary hood moments, and yeah, that's it.
All right, Peter Kenny, your podium finisher here in third. Hope to see you back on Saturday for a chance to win some cash.
Thank you.
That's Peter Kenny, Indy number 19. We're going to have to drag ourselves the fourth driver, or actually technically the third, and number 54, Grayson Trexler, who is just about in the mix of that big white flag wreck. Grayson, walk me through that final wreck.
I mean, all I could do was follow Peter Kenny. I thought I was about to turn him going into turn 3, but me and him just never lifted and just drove straight through that reg.
Yep, that's right, and you finished out here fourth for the evening, and of course you lock yourself into the 250 for next week, but man, that was a crazy final lap. But what put yourself in position there for that, for your finish here for tonight?
I mean, I was just riding around on the bottom. My spotter, Kevin White, just told me to stay there, and I didn't listen to him a few times, and it just shuffled me back. So, I mean, staying on the bottom is what ultimately got me up to fourth and avoiding the reg.
All right, bud. 10-4, Grayson Trexler rounds himself out in fourth, and most importantly, locks himself in the 250 for Saturday's race. Before we let you go, Grayson, any sponsor want to thank here for tonight?
I just want to thank Kevin White and Henry Tabor for spotting for me tonight. I definitely wouldn't have got as good of a finish as I did without them.
All right, bud. 10-4, Grayson Trexler rounds himself out fourth. Go ahead and drag in William Schmidt, one of the last people in, and Schmidt, of course, weaving himself through. I'm interested to see on what his story was on that white flag. Hey, go ahead, Dewey.
I was muted for some reason. Hey, William, got a copy?
Yes, sir.
So you were way in the back when that wreck into turn 3 happened, but you were weaving all over the place and got yourself into 17th place and into the 250. How did you do that without hitting someone else?
I honestly have no clue. I just saw a hole and went for it. I'm amazed that nobody managed to hit me. Yeah, we ended up falling out of the main pack about 15 or 20 laps prior, trying to get Bergie back up into the main pack. And I just ended up tucking in with a few lap cars and just waited it out until they wrecked. And when they did, it was pretty freaking big. I mean, I'm looking at the replay right now. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we saw a couple other people that were back there with you, but they ended up running into other people that were already damaged. But you, my friend, somehow made your way through all the carnage and got yourself in. So what is going to be your game plan going into Saturday to try to get yourself the win and some cash?
I guess just the normal strategy: hang in the back, wait till they all wreck, hope to God that Paul Granada doesn't run into me, and yeah.
Oh no,
it almost happened earlier today.
Oh no, we have a word drop. That's never a good thing. But either way, you're into the 250. So congratulations on making your way in. And before I let you go tonight, any sponsors or people you'd like to thank?
Yeah, of course I want to thank my sponsors as always, Motorsport United and Side Drafting Productions, and that's about it.
All right, William Schmidt, the lovable underdog who always runs the underdog schemes, finishes in 17th, gets himself into the 250. Can't wait to see you on Saturday night.
All right, thank you.
I'm gonna drag in one more person. That'll be Mitch Hobbs. I don't know where Hobbs finished. Made it.
He was flying out, 27th. He was flying everywhere, though.
That's unfortunate for him. Your Super Speedway champion does not make the 250. He's gonna have to transfer himself into the LCQ Saturdays pre-race, I guess you could say. But Mitch, man, that big wreck on the white flag entering turn number 3. What? Describe to me the scene out the window.
I mean, so currently limbs are flung all over the racetrack. My head's outside the stadium.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, we were on the outside. We gained a good 10 spots on the last lap, had a great run. ran into the back of someone. The next thing I know, I'm flying into the catch fence. So it was a glorious sight. I want to thank my roll cage for doing absolutely nothing and being shredded to pieces. My engine is probably in the crowd somewhere, so sometimes that's
Unfortunately, you finish out 27th here for tonight. Mitch, what's the plan going into Sunday's LCQ? I mean, Saturday.
hopefully to not be in the LCQ, because if I'm in the LCQ, I'm not making the race.
Well, you're in the LCQ, unfortunately.
Still a spot. You never know.
That's right, Mitch. Of course, tough to finish out in 27th place. Before we let you go, any sponsor want to thank you for tonight?
Yeah, I just want to thank once again the car for being ripped to pieces. Everyone in the crowd for eating pieces of debris, and the catch fence for doing his job and shredding the other pieces.
All right, bud. 10-4. Mitch Hobbs rounded himself out in 27th place. Can't wait to talk to you coming to your next race, bud.
All right, see ya.
Well, thankfully in the virtual world we can have a full stand of people.
Yep, that is correct, and we will be here in a moment. Currently it's 9:05, so in about, I'd say, an hour or so, we will transfer ourselves into the second duel. So, with that being said, stick around, there's more to come here at Daytona International Speedway as these drivers get themselves set for another one here in just a moment. We'll go back alive around 9:50, and other than that, we'll go ahead and sign ourselves off. Dewey, any last second comments?
Well, that was absolutely hectic, first off, and second off, Benjamin will be on the call for duel number 2, so thank you for putting up with my possibly annoying voice for the last hour or so tonight, and hope to see you guys back on Sunday when I call the Grand National race. Thanks for watching. qualifying.
It's going to do its own qualifying.
Okay, so scratch that, but because of course, the way NASCAR does it is you have the top 2 locked in qualifying, but then the winner of Duel 1 starts in 3rd. But not the case here, but either way, a dual win is a dual win.
Trexler had a big wiggle there off of turn number 4. I'm not really sure, and opened up the door for a couple of cars to jut themselves in. Trexler, daring move there to cut right in front of, looks like the 175 of Blaze Kennedy.
Yeah, Trexler makes that work, but it looks like they're single file after these first 5 rows. Not a lot of people on the outside once you get behind, I think, Liam Sheen. But for right now, Basin still in that high side, but hasn't been able to pull even with Kean again. But into 3 with Mulrooney right there. This may be where Basin can come down and clear.
A lot of jamming up on the inside as Aiden scoots himself back to the bottom side. Some more scrambling right behind, but for right now, it's all Kean and Basin. A top 2, 5 rows deep, 2 by 2. One car stopped on the apron. I'm not sure. That's Frank DeAngelis. He might have run out of fuel. Is that going to be a caution?
Well,
I'm not sure.
His engine was smoking early after the first wreck, so his engine may have
expired.
There's Eli O'Quinn there on the bottom, so he's going to go a lap down, if not maybe 2. But a tough break for DeAngelis, so LCQ for him. Looks like we do have one lapped car, this yellow car in the frame. I'm not sure who that is, but
Kyler Wynn.
Yeah, he was in second place in the pole sitter for tonight earlier. So it looks like it'll probably LCQ for him as well. But here you see Basin starting to get a run on the outside, so he might be able to clear here out of 4, and we'll see if he can here at the line. But just a reminder that the first and second place drivers right now were also the first and second drivers in the shootout, so I'm sure Kean definitely wants to win this battle tonight.
Yep, that is correct. 16 laps to go left in this race. Now we're seeing more aggressive racing up here inside this top 10. We're stacked up, I'd say, 2 by 2. Oh, looks like the number 21, AJ, is going to drop himself to the low side. Going to open up the door for Sheen to slot himself in line. AJ is going to have to go all the way back here to maybe slot himself. No, it looks like Blaze is going to be a bit nice to him and let him in line. And this will disrupt that inside line just a bit. Looks like Gabe Allen found himself around. But how about some other people we haven't really talked about? Liam Sheen. I mean, of course, he was up front there. But Kenneth Bueno, Dominic Howe, and Hunter Rupp now inside this top 10.
Yeah, Hunter was involved in the first incident, I believe, with Joe Burgee. So good to see him back in this top 10. Omar Diallo with a still solid run for that 12 car, currently in 6th up on that high side. Dominic Howe was running pretty good in the bronze race last night before being caught up in one of the late race incidents. He's up there in the top 10. So a couple guys in this field looking for redemption between whether it's the shootout or the bronze race. But regardless, a lot of guys you may not have expected to having good runs tonight.
Yep, that is right. Some people racing for that top 20. Some people racing for just the win by itself. I know Gabe Allen, he's just here. Just, he doesn't care if he...
I'm here for the SR.
Yeah, just about.
So 14 to go here. Bit of a gap there between Baker and Kenneth Bueno on the bottom, so that should allow the outside to pull ahead just a little bit. But Kean is really, really strong on that inside, and here's the big push I was waiting for. And now we'll see if Basin clears, and indeed he will. So that, retakes the lead here into 3. But can Mulrooney get a big enough push from Diallo to do the same thing?
Oh, looks like they're stacking up on the inside. Baker tried to push Kean, but he was jammed in behind the 08. And this will allow the outside line to pull forward. Sal Mulrooney. Mulrooney in that number 2, getting a huge shot from Omar Diallo. Now, looks like a lot more single file racing than I thought. I'd expect them to be stacked up 2 by 2 even further, but Aiden Saunders going to slide himself to the inside of that number 17. A lot of wiggling there as one car tagged the apron. That was Kenneth. Might have been a reaction to that number 12 getting a bit out of line.
Yeah, this is the interesting thing is, unlike in real life, the results from this duel do not determine the starting line for the 250. So it quite literally does not matter whether you finish 1st, 15th, or 20th. As long as you're in the top 20, you're into the 250 regardless. And looks like the field goes single file around a lap car that goes high and a lap car that goes low. So this is going to snake the field into the tri-oval, and this is going to really shake some things up as that lap car is going to be trapped in the pack, and that's going to really screw over a couple people, and it looks like he's a lot slower than the cars around him.
I wouldn't say that's the 18 of Nick and Delicato. I wouldn't. Looks like he has a clean car, so he's going to be good enough to stay within this pack. He just has to keep himself clean and stay off of bumpers, as one car is going to drop himself to the apron. That's a 34.
Good clapper.
Oh!
Whoa, contact! Kenneth and Aiden, that would have been big, but they keep it going. And Delicato is fast enough to stay in the pack, but the speed difference between him on his own and the pack approaching him definitely disrupted that inside. And you saw that with Kenneth dropping from 5th to looks like 7th or 8th now.
Yep, that is right. Now, we hit 11 laps to go. Some drivers getting more aggressive. This number 18 is going to play a big factor into this because there's going to be a big bottleneck. Though it looks like he's going to drop himself the apron, so a good nod to this this main pack, who has actually split themselves up into 2 separate packs. Looks like the 15, Blaze Kennedy is all the way back here. Gabe Allen by himself, Aiden Kirker, Cole Williams. Maybe all these people are, I'm not sure if they're saving fuel, but all these people, as of right now, they're sort of floating along this tail end of the lead pack. And
well,
I'm pretty sure they're betting for a wreck.
Well, that's the transfer spot around where they are. Eric Keeter currently shown in 20. It's that 28 car in the middle of that group of cars is the last transfer spot. So they may be laying back for now, but don't be surprised if there's aggression back there, as one car actually just got the outside wall out of turn 2. I'm not sure who that was. As they go 3 wide for the lead here to 3, and Mulrooney, after being up there all night almost, will take the lead coming to 9 to go.
Yep, that is right. So moving number 2, Mulrooney, now up to the top spot. And I'd say right now is the time to get yourself in position for that top 20. And I expect them to get yep, that's right. I expect these people to get even more racier here in a moment.
As if they couldn't be racier enough, but with 9 laps to go, expect the unexpected. But great run for that 21 so far, into the top 5 for the first time tonight. Looking for his first ever iSCAR win, points paying or not, as Keane will dive down to the bottom. AJ might get shoved 3 wide here, but he'll manage to get himself in front of Basin, and now Diallo and Sheen will make a 3 wide move here in the middle of 3, but they're really bunching up. This is going to be tight out of 4.
Yep, that is right. Right behind the number 21 of the 08. It looks like that third lane is starting to kick in some measures, but unfortunately, they're not going to go anywhere as of right now. The inside line gets a bit disrupted as Aiden clips the apron yet again. 3 by 3, 2 rows back, but now that outside line looks like it fell apart. And Omar and Sheen are going to have to file themselves back to that outside line. Looks like Basins want to split. Oh, whoa! What a block by AJ. He opens up the door for the middle, though.
Baker tries to make a move up the middle. Somebody's going to get shuffled out. It looks like it's going to be Diallo in the 12. But a big block from AJ keeps himself first on the high side. Diallo trying to make his way back in, but the gap has closed for him. So with that move on the outside, that's definitely going to give the advantage now to the inside. And a move to the outside from Mulrooney, trying to get the lead away from Kean. 7 laps to go.
7 laps to go. These drivers have to be aware of each other and aware of their position. No matter what, all these drivers inside this top 10 are probably going to be solidified unless if they wreck. You don't want to wreck yourself. Stay in line and work together to get yourselves all the way to the white flag.
Well, they definitely look like they want to wreck. They've come pretty close a couple of times in the last handful of laps. But hopefully for all these guys up here, they stay where they are and don't wreck. But Dominic now second on the bottom, so that 30 car trying to get his first win of Speed Weeks, and Aiden back up there in the top 10 as well. Now we're starting to see the 3 wide potentially start to work. See Basin and Omar up there, but no help beyond those two. So unless more guys jump up there with them, the third line's going to do pretty much nothing here.
Yep, that's right. They're going to have to probably file themselves behind that number 36, Jonathan T. Baker. Unless that gap closes between himself and that number 4 of Blaze Crawford, and it did. So they're have to be outside the top 10 momentarily unless they could get another third line roll in. Looks like Dominic Howell got a bit out of line. This might help the outside line of that number 2 and 21.
And Kean still leads here to 3. I thought Mulrooney may have gotten shuffled 3 wide there, but he stays in command of the outside. Dominic now all by himself in second as he's actually cleared Mulrooney. So there the 30 will jump up high, as I expected he would once he got clear. And to the line, it's going to be a drag race, but I believe Kian will lead that lap.
Looks like AJ's wanting to make that third line work. Mulrooney tried to cut him off, and AJ now to the high side. Dominic in the middle, and the number 27 on the bottom side of Kian M. Rally. 3x3, 3 rows deep.
Now, can the third line start to get something to work? Now that they have 3 cars up there instead of 2, can they start to gain themselves some momentum? But I think they need 1 or 2 more cars to get up there before they could really start to make any moves. But speaking of moves, Dominic to the bottom and to the race lead. Oh, a near wreck right there. How did they hold on to that? 4 to go at the stripe.
4 to go at the stripe, and
no!
Sheen. I think Sheen got, no, looks like he has to merge himself back into the racetrack.
Nice job, Liam.
Now, look at the second pack. The second pack is now pushing the issue. They want to get themselves up in position for this top 20. The first car out is currently the number 40, Thomas Lloyd.
So Sheen just went from pretty securely in to the second car out. So that 002 needs to get his butt in gear to get himself back in that top 20 before this race ends. But here comes Baker. Will he clear into 3? Looks like he's going to stay up on the high side. Now he comes down to that 36 to the point. Just 3 more laps at Daytona, but will they make it back, or will we have green light checkers?
I'm not sure. They're starting to get stacked up right behind. I'm pretty sure because all these people are pushing right behind, they're probably going to be the catalyst of the wreck. The first car out is the number 40 of Thomas Lloyd. The first one in is the number 28. So watch out around this position as well. And Sheen now works himself up on the high side. He's trying to pass himself and work himself into the top 20.
Baker still leads coming out of turn 2. Dominic maintaining the high side. A reminder that all these guys are secure, but they do want to go for the dual win. I believe Sheen and Gabe Allen trying to make that high side work as a couple more lapped cars get themselves out of the way. But they're still side by side for the lead here into 3. 2 more circuits around this 2.5 mile super speedway as Basin gets shuffled out of line out of 4, and that'll put, I believe, Omar back into second on the high side.
Oh, Mulrooney goes up to the high side.
Nice move for Aaron. That might give him the lead into 1. Then need a really big push from Dominic. Not going to be enough into 1, but we'll see if we can get him out of 2.
Here we go. Oh, Mitch is on the wall as he tried to move himself to the high side. They're 3 wide right behind for that position. All in a matter of all that. Look at this. Around this 20th place, they're pushing the issue, trying to get themselves into that top 20.
Will they make it around green, or will they
They're
wreck
blocking for 20th place?
And I don't blame them one bit. I don't even know who's got the transfer spot. Aiden Kirker, Liam Sheen, Gabe Allen, all around that 20th place. But Jonathan T. Baker, the man of the hour, coming to the white flag at Daytona. Will they wreck right here? Will they make it back green? What a move by Keenan. A big block by Baker. The white flag is out. This will be the last lap of the race. Who will take the checkered flag?
Oh my goodness. Dominic Howell cut the crap out of that number 12. I'm surprised there was no wreck. They're stacking up. Now double wide right behind as the back now scoots themselves together. The 20th spot. Here comes Ken up on the high side. Aiden is also going to be in there as well.
Aiden's still pretty squirrely. AJ had a run but had to let off or else he would have turned that number 2, and Baker with a move. Here comes Aiden to the bottom. Kean's there. Around goes Baker and Kean. They wreck up the track.
They're all wrecking. Holy crap. Who gets themselves in the top 20? They're still wrecking.
Mitch Hobbs is upside down. AJ Bain, the bridesmaid no more, will win duel number 1 at Daytona.
And now we just have to scroll back. There's so many people that are wrecking. Who's going to get themselves in the top 20?
Who's
like Liam Knox? I'm not sure. It's just, look at all these people. Oh, they're flying in. They're flying in.
Clapper, oh my goodness, they're still wrecking.
They're still wrecking.
Just hit the outside
William
wall.
Schmidt squeezed himself through. He gets himself in the top 20.
Oh my goodness, William Schmidt. Thomas Lloyd gets across the line. Who is 20th?
Blake Kennedy is the last one in. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Out. Mulrooney's out.
And Mulrooney is out.
Oh no.
Mulrooney is out.
He's the first car out.
Mulrooney's. Oh my gosh.
Aaron,
holy crap. I can't believe AJ Bain won it, but I cannot believe Mulrooney's out either. I'm shocked. I have no words.
That took everybody out. as we'll get a look and see what happened as AJ burns it down with a blown motor and his first career win in iSCAR, points paying or not, finally for AJ as he managed to survive the chaos into turn 3 and came out a winner, and he will advance on to the 250 along with the first 19 cars behind him, and we'll get a replay of what happened and your unofficial duel results.
Oh my gosh. I did not expect it to play it that way. That was a mess. That was messy.
As soon as the 36 got pushed down, I knew that was going to be absolute chaos when he came back up the hill. And boy, did it become chaos, because that watered up everybody.
Holy cow.
You see all this scrambling here into one, so I thought this may have been where the wreck would occur, but they managed to keep it going here, and it didn't really start to become an issue until right here, the Aiden got tight or washed up right there. AJ lets off to not hit the 26, and then this is where the problems really start to happen as Kian makes a move here on Baker, who's trying to block for his life, and gets turned with Aiden right there. And at this point, there's no saving that car, and everybody piles in. Omar Diallo in the fence, Mitch Hobbs goes around. There were at least 4 or 5 cars on their roofs, and we did have a catch fence hit there with the 12. But we'll have to see who else flipped over, because there was quite a few of them. But out of all of that, AJ Bain escapes your winner. But right here, Baker goes to block Kian and tries to block Aiden, but not enough real estate to do so, and you can only block so many times before you end up getting wrecked. And this is where everybody piles in. Hunter in there, think upside down. There's Kian, what's left of his car. There's Mulrooney down on the apron. And then what we really saw happen was there were a bunch of guys that were laying way back that were still going full pace. There's Gabe Allen, one of them, and some of these guys ran into the cars that were already wrecked. You see right here out of 4, these guys are trying to make it back to the line with their damaged cars. And now watch these guys coming in the back. There's Clappert running into them, and a couple more wrecked. And you'll see William right there weaving his way across the line to make it in. Don't count out Casey Drake in that 87. He's right.
One more lap to go here at Indy. He ran him all the way from 3 seconds back. 2 laps to go. Oh, L2 gets done. Oh, Mention gets the apron around the Strexler. He spins right from the back. Huge wreck. The 2 flies up in the air. It's 3 wide. Oh, what a move by Derek. He wants to go.
Tries to send him up the hill, but can't quite do it.
Now between the 2 car lengths. Too little too late for Derek and Smith. Oh, clapping gets turned! Clapping gets turned! Oh my gosh! Side by side, 3 wide at the wire! iSCAR RaceLab Cup Series presents to you the iSCAR Daytona Duel number 2. Gonna run another 45-lap event, this time under the lights here at Daytona. And we're gonna duke it out again. The first duel saw AJ Bain go to victory lane, and a big wreck on the white flag. I'm sure we're bound to see more sparks, no doubt about it, here tonight at the World Center of Racing. My name is Ezeckiel Reyes.
I'm Benjamin White. Welcome to the broadcast, everybody. We did have a little bit of a commentator switch up as Dewey had to go do another thing, so I will be filling in here for this second duel. But from what we saw last duel, things are going to get insane around that cutoff spot. But even up at the front, they were throwing crazy blocks, so I don't expect anything different here for this second duel.
Yep, that is correct. Currently, 2 very close teammates, Blaze McKinney, Glenn Bundren Jr. I think that's on... McKinney was on SPG, Glenn was on, I forgot what team he's on. I'm pretty sure you can fill me in on that, but top 2...
He's an independent now.
Oh, he's an independent. Blaze and Glenn, I know they're really close together. They're currently dotting the charts as of right now, 1 and 2, as Blaze is doing a bit of Le Mans blowover type stuff. I don't even know how to explain that, but we're going to scoot ourselves into the Max Speed TV iRacing channel and drag in drivers into the booth. Go ahead and start some pre-race interviews. But before we do, Benjamin, what do you think about tonight?
Well, the first duel was pretty clean for what I expected it to be, but at the end we saw the aggression and the desperation go way up, and I think the second duel is going to be no different. But I think seeing how crazy they were racing up at the front last time, these Duel 2 drivers are going to be a little more cautious here on what moves they're going to make, as Charlie Byer was not cautious going down the pits there. But this is going to be probably the more calm of the 2 duels, I'd say.
I disagree. I think the second duel is stacked with a lot of talented drivers. These drivers know what they have to do to get themselves in position, and I think that 20th spot is even going to be more crazier. So we'll have to find out on how this will all go in for this one as well. Nate Stewart, going to drag him in here. Go ahead and spark off with pre-race interview by Kim. I don't know what number he is. 13. So, Stewart, the booth, and... Hey, Nate, you got a copy? Nate Stewart, this is Ezeckiel Reyes up here in the Max Speed TV booth. You got a copy? We're having a bit of connection issues with Nate. Unfortunately, we'll try to get him back into the booth here in just a moment. We'll drag in another person. We'll try to drag in the... Josh Patterson on in. I don't know what number he is. Patterson. Where is he? Apologies about that. Everybody's in a different number. Of course, it's because it's a hosted session. Oh, there's Blaze. We'll drag him booth. And the number 87 here for tonight. Blaze, you got a copy?
Yep, I gotcha.
Hey, Blaze, you're currently leading practice. Of course, a very close friend of yours is leading second place, I could just say, whatever that word was. But anyway, Blaze, what are you looking forward to here for tonight?
Just consistency. I don't know. We're gonna try to start up front, but if we don't qualify as we hope, I'm just gonna go to the back and just try to relax for a little bit, let them do their thing up there, and then try to get there at the end. But if we do stick up front, my best bet is to try to run up front most of the race and try to just keep the track position, because I feel like it's gonna be a track position race. Because once everybody gets doubled up 2 by 2, it's so hard to get track position, and hopefully we can get up there and stay up there and just not get wrecked.
All right, but 10-4 Blaze McKinney currently in first on top of charts. Anybody you're going to be working with tonight?
Yeah, definitely the guy in second in practice. We were out there just trying to get some draft laps, try to work on drafting, and we just caught a good draft from people in front of us and just shot us to the top of the board. So, just whoever we can really find, to be honest. Just we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting. I know most of this plate racing stuff is about having friends, so hopefully we got a lot of them out there.
All right, 10-4 Blaze McKinney currently sitting on top of the charts. Can't wait to see you coming out for this 45-lap event.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Benjamin, go ahead and take Nate Stewart in number 13.
Nate Stewart, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, this is your first race back with us in a long time. How are you feeling about coming back here to this league?
Well, it's an oval, so I have a bad feeling about it.
Well, you just reached 5,000 iRating. It's got to be a good, what should I say, milestone for you. So, is that any momentum for this race?
Well, yes, I'd like to say it is. 5,000 iRating is a huge milestone for me, albeit I got it by farming the Roval, but it was still a lot of time put into it and a lot of time leading up to it. So it's definitely a big milestone, and it's going to carry forward as some momentum for, one, my Twitch channel, and two, me as a driver. So yeah, it's nice momentum that I'm looking forward to carry through, and hopefully I want to see him in your team and go for Road to Pro soon.
All right, well, good luck there. But before we let you go here for this duel, do you have any teams, any sponsors you want to thank or shout out?
Well, first and foremost, I'm still looking for a team, so if anybody's out there, feel free to hit me up. Two, I want to say thank you to my Twitch team, Outrun Esports, for letting me come on, streaming under them now. My sponsors with Bar Visuals, JDR Graphics, DJ Harris Designs. Thank you guys for broadcasting tonight. And Zeke, thank you again for not banning me from iSCAR. Yeah, so we'll go out there, try to go get them tonight.
All right, and that's Nate Stewart in number 13. Can't wait to talk to you a post-race here after this 45-lap event. Dragon, another person. Sorry, these numbers are all over the place and such like that. Looks like Nick Miller's number 95 here for tonight. Nick, you got a copy? Nick Miller, this is Ezeckiel Reyes up here in the Max Speed TV booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, there we go.
Alright, Nick, I don't know where you're sitting in practice as of right now, but who you're looking forward to, of course, the SPG disbandment. You don't have as many, I guess, associated friends anymore, so how do you think are you going to work yourself into this top 20 this year?
We're just going to vibe, I guess. We'll see. I'll probably just do what I always do in these, get locked in by a certain amount, top 20. We'll probably just sit middle of it, top 10, and hope that the drivers around that area realize that they can make it and they won't cause a big wreck like Duel 1. Because that was big.
Alright, but 10-4 and Miller currently sitting 28th in practice as of right now. Before we get off ourselves toward this event, how much do you want to think here for tonight?
For the first time, no.
Alright, but 10-4, Nick Miller sitting 20th in practice as of now. Can't wait to talk to you post-race. Well, Benjamin, it's coming down to closing time. Currently 30 seconds left in this practice as of right now. What are you looking forward to, and how do you think this race will pan out?
Well, I'm looking forward to some really, really, really good super speedway racing. We've seen it in the first duel. They stayed clean for most of the race. I was surprised with the low amount of cautions, but I feel like this is going to be the same way, maybe with a few more or less cautions there, but I'm expecting some more chaos near the end of this race, just like last race, so it's going to be, I'd say, a game of attrition maybe on the final lap, depending on if they have a big crash or not, but that is to be determined here tonight.
All right, we transition ourselves into qualifying. We'll be right back right after this. Stand up for the national anthem. Salute our nation's colors. Welcome everybody back here live for the iSCAR Duel number 2 event. Gonna top 20 as qualifiers for the 250 in for Saturday. My goodness, pretty bit of headlines going. I'm not gonna really go in depth with it. Of course, a couple drivers joining, stuff like that, but that's just admin stuff on the side. That's all going down. But right now, all of our focus as a broadcaster is on qualifying for this. And I was just taking right now. Colton Hyman and Julian Ricky, I think.
Ricci.
Dot 1 and 2.
You'll see these qualifying standings continue to shuffle throughout this whole session here, so you'll probably see several names go to the top of the board here throughout the session. But I'm looking at Christopher Weil to maybe get this pole. He is really good at plate qualifying, and I will not be surprised if he takes another pole here tonight, but Brody Garner takes a top spot with a 47.381 lap time.
Yep, of course, the second lap faster than your first. Put that car right up against the safer barrier to carry that momentum all the way down in second lap when we hug the bottom side right against the double yellow. It seems as though there's more qualifiers in this duel rather than last duel. We had around 23 who qualified. Now qualified in the first duel. For this duel, it's looks like 29 people are out on the racetrack as well. Watching the man that you mentioned for a while work himself down the back straight away. Of course, he's already been in victory lane here at Daytona yesterday in the bronze race. Got to see him out on the racetrack yet again. Brody Gardner holding the top spot as of right now. I expected that number 55 to be up there. Here he is, sitting on top of the board.
Yeah, Christopher last night got his 14th career win, so he's already climbing up into the top 5 on the all-time win list, which is really, really, really good, because not even a year ago, he had only 2 wins, I think. So he's gotten a lot better in the course of a year. And as this season progresses, I won't be surprised if he reaches that 20-win milestone.
Yep, that's right. Currently watching David Bachman in the 84 work himself around the racetrack, currently sitting 28th place. Corey Long in the number 93. He crosses the start-finish line. Looks like he'll log himself 6th spot, so nice job for him. Work himself inside that top 10. We have a lot of more qualifiers than I expected. Charlie Byer looks like he's not going to elect to take a lap. Man, that fight for 20th is going to be huge yet again, like what we saw in that first duel. I'm just interested if all these 20 drivers, all these qualifiers have the same mindset of being up there when needed. As in, stay toward the front and you won't have any problems. Alright, here we go. The grid going to be displayed on the bottom side for this evening. As we're going to go ahead and transfer those into the next speed voice channel. Congratulations to the number 55 of Brody Gardner winning the pole here for the evening. Dallas Myhan and the number 40 right alongside of him.
Starting in the second row tonight, Nick Miller with a nice qualifying effort, and Kevin White Jr. will start fourth with a 47.410 lap time.
Right alongside of him, right behind them, Tyler Coners and Corey Long with a nice qualifying effort in that 93.
Row number 4, Jeremiah Bethune and the Jeremiah Pog right there, and starting in 8th position is Dylan Alt.
Row number 5 going to consist of Max Urich and Hunter Johnson, that number 12, a former champion here in iSCAR. Rest of the order is going to be shown on your screen. Christopher Wilde, Derek M. Smith round out row number 6, and of course some notable names to be mentioned of. Looks like Latham Joyner in number 3, he's all the way back here. Carson Poindexter as well. And this rounds out the top 20, but man, I have no words still. I'm still shocked from that first duel. There's our first non-qualifier, the number 13 of Nate Stewart. All the way back in 29th place. 30th, excuse me. And of course, the highlight for tonight's race, that number 7 of Charlie Byer, our latest, actually, 250 winner. That number 7 needs to crawl himself through to get a W here for tonight. To get himself inside that top 20.
Yeah, that's all that's necessary there for him, but he would like to come out with a win as Aaron Kennington will round up the field there in 43rd. So, 43 car field, full field here for tonight. 2 people, though, have left the session. That would be the 18 of Ibrahim Dajani and the 10 of Mark Frimfong. So 41 cars look to be starting the race here tonight.
Here we go. Oh, man. The race analysis is going to be shown on the bottom left-hand side of the screen. Same as usual, 45 laps set here for the evening, 2.5 miles in length. The Daytona Oval is 36 feet above sea level. This time, we're running under the lights here at the World Center of Racing. Pit road speed, 55 miles per hour, no tire sets, no stages, pure racing from once we drop the green flag all the way to the end. And the fuel window, 28 to 31 laps. Glad you could tune us in here for tonight's Max Speed TV event. Duel number 2 going to go into the books yet again. The 55 of Brody Garner will lead the field onto the charge. The pace car scoots itself left, 45 laps here this evening. And here we go. Green, green, green. We're up and away.
Wow, good start by the inside line there as Dallas Myhan looked to have been caught sleeping right there. We'll see if Kevin White could go down to the inside, and he will, so Dallas Myhan's going to get left out there, and he tries to get in, and he files his way in there, so top 4 will be single file as they head through 1 and 2 right now. Nick Miller trying to push the 55 of Brody Garner to the corner. Brody kind of off the inside right now. They head off turn 2, still the top 4 single file.
Now you're going to see a lot of cars drop themselves to the apron. One car in the wall right in the background. Not sure what that was about, but the 44 goes all the way to the rear. And meanwhile, up front, top 3 all single file. That's Garner, Miller, and Myhan.
Kevin White up to 4th, Jeremiah Bethune up to 5th, And these guys are really starting to get down on this inside line, so this is not as intense as we saw the early laps of Duel race number 1, as more cars get down to the inside, and we're going to start to pull a single file train down the inside line as they head to 1.
Max Urich has a bit of front-end damage on his machine. That looks to be a very significant. One car on the wall right in the background. That looks to be the 12 of Hunter Johnson, but in all the meanwhile of that, I'm not sure if that's going to affect the Mercer. No, he's going to drop himself to the apron and get out of harm's way, maybe repair that damage for the upcoming caution here, maybe soon, but in the meanwhile, Jeremiah looks like he's trying to make a run up on the high side, but nobody went with him.
Yeah, Latham Joyner, though, pushing it up the middle lane right now, and he's just passing cars right now, picking them off one by one down the front straightaway, trying to pass Corey Long. As you can see, lots of shuffling around that transfer spot, but single file for most of this field up front right now. I'm actually very surprised to see this early.
Yeah, of course, we still have at least one more stop. I mean, a stop left in this race. 75% fuel, so there will be at least one required pit stop. I'm not sure if all these people laying back are trying to save fuel, maybe stretch it a bit farther than what they what the tank maybe allow them to, but everybody just minding their own P's and Q's, and right now, all following right behind that 55 of Brody Gardner. Scroll all the way back to this 20th spot of Josh Patterson. Again, this is the cutoff. So Patterson holding that final spot over the number 21. I mean, not over 21st place of the 12 of Hunter Johnson.
We're not going to see this for long, though. We're going to start to see people trying to make passes up here as they
Four
work down
wide in the back. Look at that.
Wow.
Oh boy, my camera's going insane.
Yeah, it is. Anyways, looks like they will go back to 3 wide and now 2 wide back there, way outside the transfer spot, as Jeremiah Bethune went from a top 5 run to outside the top 20. So he needs to get back in line right now, and he will do so as he pushes the 27 of Aaron Brown up the racetrack. Max Urich with that damage is definitely in a hole right now. I'm not sure where he got the damage from, but this is
Jeremiah
going to
had
affect
rear end
the rest of the
damage.
race. That could have been it, because they started 7th and 9th respectively. So that easily could have been what happened. As you can see, Latham Joyner somehow is passing cars by himself on the outside. But you can see some of these guys on the inside are not even close to each other right now, so maybe they're playing some fuel-saving game, but I don't really see a reason for that, knowing that the pit window is 28 to 31, so you wouldn't be able to save enough regardless, but it's certainly interesting to monitor right now why these guys are just single file.
I mean, maybe they're just laying back. They saw what they... Maybe they're just taking what they saw in Duel number 2 and learning off of what they got off of there. Probably laying themselves back and such. How about... As these drivers are now single file. No, never minded that. Hopping up to himself to the high side looks like a couple of teammates. The number 93 of Corey Long and Christopher Weil. And now we're starting to get stacked up 2 by 2. And it's Corey Long and the 93 who's going to lead it into 3. Or he's leading the high side charge. He's not in the lead yet. Will the 40 elect to go up to the high side? I'm not sure. Miller does, though. And now he'll lead the outside charge. And now a battle for the lead here up front, but Garner led the lap at the wire.
Yeah, Nick Miller, though, getting a nice push by Corey Long as they go down the front straightaway, heading to turn 1 right now. This is the first time we've seen side-by-side for the lead, and I think once we start seeing it, we're going to see it a lot more throughout the race, which means 2 by 2 throughout this whole run is probably what we're going to see here. As you can see some cars blinking in the back, cars trying to make moves outside that top 20 right now. Nick Miller gets the advantage heading to 3, but that's going to get broken as they head through 3 and 4 right now. That inside is the preferred line down here, but watch this exit of the corner. Nick is going to get a huge run off the outside, and that line's more formed up anyway, Zeke. So this is going to be a good run for these guys up the outside.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think a lot of people are scared of that 00 of Kevin White Jr. He tagged the apron a couple of times, washed himself up, and nobody's right behind him because of that. Never minded that. We file in a new name into the picture, the number 43, and Michael Rosero. in the rookie. I think he's the highest running rookie as of right now. That number 43 is, as Miller is edging ahead of that number 55. I don't think he's going to be clear coming into 3, but still going to manage to be side by side.
Miller trying to get clear, but just barely not clear. But watch this run off the outside. Corey Long's going to give him a push here, and this is probably going to get him clear right here. As you can see, Christopher Wow third in line, a great pusher right there. Miller gets clear right now. He can drop down whenever he wants, but he may want to drag Corey along with him, but he goes to the inside right in front of the 55. So new leader down the front straightaway. It's Nick Miller.
Yeah, but that opened up the door for Corey Long, and here comes SPM. And Long taking a wider arc, maybe trying to gather up some speed and such like that, unless he wants to allow all 3 wide, and looks like Brody Garner is going to boot the, move himself into second place right alongside. No, it looks like the 93 of Long is falling back. Now, filling the shoes of the pusher, that number 41 is Latham Joyner. So Long will file himself back into 9th place as Miller is up front with Myhan as a pusher. Two by two, stacked up, I'd say 8 rows deep. All these drivers just trying to get into a nice rhythm as we see some new names work themselves up into the inside this top 10. Dane Cruz, Lacey Cool, Aaron Kennington, all within this pack, as well as the 55 of Garner. Drops himself down low in front of the 41, so Garner back up front. Top 3 now all single file. Weil has the option to move himself up to the high side, maybe gun for that top spot. Looks like he won't, as we're approaching our first lap car of the evening. That looks to be Michael Bianchini in the number 4 machine right up against the safer barrier. He's luckily the only car 1 lap down, so if he do catch a caution, he will easily get the free pass and work himself back on the lead lap. Speaking of passing, up on the high side goes the number 95 of Miller. He wants to charge for the lead as now Myhan pushes that number 95. Still stacked up, a lot of rows deep. I'd say 10 rows deep. This pack is 20 drivers. That means all the way back here for the final driver that's Julian in that number 73 machine, but he's getting passed by Derek M. Smith, who now moves himself inside the top 20. This is the area that we have to watch around, because this is the final transfer spot as well. Still stacked up 2 by 2, and everybody, all 41 cars who entered tonight's race are still running. A bit of contact, maybe a bit of miscommunication around there where Colton Hyman is. Looks like nobody really wants to be around him, or Colton's just by himself as of right now. On the meanwhile of that, Brody Garner's cleared that second row, but Miller gonna come up with a head of steam yet again. Here he comes. We're on the wall right behind. Maybe that might have disrupted that outside line toward the tail end of that. And it's Miller up on the high side. Looks like Myhan's giving a nice shot to that number 95. Oh, Myhan's peeking himself to the inside. Looks like trying to get a bit of nose. Trying to get a bit of nose on the air. What am I saying? Trying to get a bit of air on the nose. Of course, these engine temperatures get a bit hot. That in turn caused Brody to clear for that top spot as we're approaching another lap car. That looks to be the number 6 of Max Urick, who's going to be right up against the safer barrier. Max is going to go 1 down, so that means we're going to have 2 drivers fight for a lucky dog. Max, of course, with that damage, and the 4 are Bianchini, also 1 lap down as well.
Well, they come off turn 4 right here. Brody continues to lead this inside. Nick Miller continues to lead the outside. He's got Dallas Myhan pushing him right now, who seems like a good pusher up here on this outside line. The inside has more cars, so this is a good run for this outside line right now. The turn 1 still dead even with this lead right now. Brody's going to get the edge here in the middle of the corner, though.
All these drivers doing a really phenomenal job of keeping themselves straight, and you called it. Oh, Myhan gets a bit out of line. Maybe got a bad bump there from Latham. That in turn disrupted that outside line, so now Wild can hop himself and elect to go to that second lane to charge in for that lead. Right now, oh, looks like he will. So now he's on the top side. Nope, never mind. Drops himself down to the bottom, right in front of the 0-0 of Kevin White. So Wild being a bit indecisive, and that in turn, it disrupts that inside line. Here comes Miller with another run.
You'll see this happen over and over again. The outside will get a run, they'll get even, but if they don't have enough cars up there, they're going to drop back. So this is going to be a recurring theme throughout the race if this outside line doesn't get more help right here. But they have turn 2. Brody Garner has led most of the laps here tonight with his teammate behind him, Christopher Weil. If these two are hooked up at the end of the race, watch out. This is going to be a lethal combination. But Nick Miller getting a nice push from Dallas Myhan, trying to get clear into turn 3, but can't, as he will have to drop back and try and get another run here, maybe drag the brake just a tiny bit, get a bump from the 40, and he'll push him back forward here, but Brody continues to lead right now.
Scroll all the way back. One person working himself through now inside the top 20. Charlie Byer now in as looks
one
like
car in the wall.
Yeah, one car is in the wall right in the background, but Charlie Byer now inside the top 20. Josh Patterson now works himself inside the top 20. Never mind that, he might get taken 3 wide by the 84 of Bachman. All these people right toward the tail end of this pack are just running their own race as of right now. Meanwhile, up front, it's Miller and Brody battling for this top spot.
They've just been side by side this whole race, it seems like. But head to turn 3 once again. Brody has dominated this race so far. I'm pretty surprised to see a single person dominate, especially with the cup package these guys are using, where there's so many huge runs you can get. But this is also the product of 2x2 lines. There's just nowhere to go to get track position.
Yeah, unless that third line kicks in which you'll see some drivers get booted out right against the safer barrier, or maybe get a run up right against there very rarely. Who knows? It might play both ways. Either you fall back or you push forward, but as of right now, that third line is not there, and I don't expect it to be here. I don't expect it to be here, especially this early in the race. We're only on lap number 18 out of number 45, and we'll pull up the race summary panel here on the bottom right of your screen. 28 laps to go, so if you do pit from this point forward, you will make it all the way to the end.
It's the question of when will these guys make that pit stop. I'm expecting them to either split it halfway or go to the end of the fuel run. I don't see anybody pitting this early. Still these two up front. I am concerned for the 41 engine temps, and this is going to be another thing we have to monitor, and the drivers are going to have to monitor themselves, is their engine temperatures. If they get too hot and their engine temperatures go high enough, they will blow their engine right in front of the field. That is not what they want to happen, as Nick Miller will clear down to the inside, new leader, the 95.
Yeah, and that's a variable you have to take in note as a driver who's running toward the front. You got to time your passes right, or else if you mistime them and get your engine temperatures hot at the wrong time, maybe in the corner, the inside line is at its strongest, that outside line won't go anywhere. Maybe down the straightaways as one car tags the outside wall. That's the 36 of Hyman, as he gets himself dropped back. Unfortunately, he's going to lose a lot of track position. Attempts to file himself back in line. As of right now, it seems as though this top 5 is just sort of shuffling themselves on cooler temperatures and such like that. Since Miller was out front, he'll have a cooler temperature. And maybe hop himself up to the high side.
Dallas Myhan, first time leading here tonight. He's going to lead a lap here as they cross the start-finish line. Latham Joyner gave him a huge push, and if Latham's square on your bumper, he will push the heck out of you. And that's one guy that I would want to have on my bumper at the end of the race, trying to help me win a race here. So he's going to be a key factor if it comes to trying to find a draft partner coming to the end of this thing. But Dallas Myhan leading down the back straightaway.
Look at all these drivers. They're all single file. I'm not sure if they're coming in this time by. It seems as though they are. They're shoving themselves right against the double yellow, so they're spamming the 1 key, pitting in this time by. You see a couple teammates right up against the barrier. And who will hit pit road? Looks like nobody. I think they're going to hit pit road here soon, but it's just a matter of when.
Some guys that we have not talked about all night coming up into the top 10. There's Glenn Bundren and Blaze McKinney, the teammates working up on the outside right now. You've also got Nate Stewart coming into the top 10 for the first time here tonight. Up the middle with the 3-car of Latham Joyner there trying to push him through. Also back there, Michael Rosero in the 43. We haven't talked about him all night. He's been in the top 10 most of this run here, but kind of slipped under our radar here. But you can see this 2-car tandem right now, the 3 and the 13 working their way towards the front.
What a push that Nate Stewart's giving Latham Joyner, and Joyner's, we've seen him run up front as here we go. Pits are open this time by, and a lot of drivers going to elect on it, but they might overshoot it.
Corey Long, watch out. Oh, man, I think he just wiped some guys out, and yes, sir, Corey Long goes around in the pit lane, just trying to get it back in to the pit lane, but that is definitely going to be an unsafe pit entry and maybe speeding as well for him. Not sure if he took anybody else out with him. That's going to be question. Who did he hit? Did he hit anybody? Does he have damage from that? Does anybody else have damage from that? That's going to be very hurtful to anybody who got damage from that. So very tough break for Corey Long.
That's right. And second wave going to hit pit road this time by. Going to drop themselves down low. Looks like the 2 friends are going to go down on in. Lazy Cool shoving it. Oh, she locked it up, and that's going to overshoot her as the Tinker's blocking it away. And look at all those people. 3, 4 drivers overshooting their box and such like that. I mean, not overshooting their box, overshooting pit road. And unfortunately for them, they're going to be out of the draft. Well, that sucks. Now we have a pack of about, I'd say 7 who really put it up together. I'd say there's about 8 drivers right behind who are sort of dotting the last few, as here comes a couple down pit road, and this is the dangers of not communicating well. 2 drivers by themselves on the pit road. They're gonna have to hopefully get themselves back on track with a pack. Maybe they could latch onto those drivers who had a speeding penalty, but unfortunate for them, they're not going to get organized as fast as they can.
I'd expect most of this group to be pitting with each other, especially Nick Miller, Dylan Alt, guys like that, who know that they can trust each other. They'll probably pit with each other here, so we'll see what happens. Miller's on the outside, though, so that is not a safe place to make your pit stop from. We'll see if anybody's going to take it in this time, and they do.
Oh,
Nick
Miller!
Oh, he can't. As we'll see if anybody's going to overshoot or speed in the pit lane. Oh, Dane Cruz, I think, might have just crashed right there.
Oh,
Nate Stewart! Oh, no! Rosero and Nate Stewart make contact. Nate Stewart has spun in the pit lane. Watch out. Oh, man, Keelan almost hit him there, but...
That's the second year in a row that number 13 has wrecked on pit road, and now here we go. 4 drivers by themselves. I think they have to hit pit road sometime, like right now. They're all fanned out. Everybody's fanned out. Nobody really communicated with each other on what strategy, how they're going to have to play pit road and such, and this is the result of not communicating. Here they go. They're all going to hit pit road at the same time. Oh, don't speed. Don't speed. Oh, that's a lockup.
I don't think anybody got speeding from that. I think all 4 of them were able to get it in as safe as possible. But that little pit thing with Nick Miller on that last lap, that really hurt him.
Alt is left by himself. He has nobody to rely off of. Looks like he missed pit road. I'm not really sure, but this is the main pack regrouping themselves. And look at that. It's the 2 friends of the number 37 and 87 who are going to be leading this one. Glenn Bundren and Blaze McKinney. And look at that right behind. They've dragged at least a pack of 10 with them. No, that's more than a pack of 10. But I don't think it's a big enough pack to be worrisome for that LCQ as Klein tags the outside wall. slows down that outside lane. But everybody just trying to get organized and such. Here comes some more drivers hitting off a pit road right now. They're going to merge into this big pack right behind. Oh, they're going to be too slow to really merge on and latch onto that tail end. It's a big pack. Miller is, though. I think he has a far enough shot to maybe tag on to that number 37 or something like that. He's going to hug the low side. They're going to have to work themselves around. Looks like Miller does latch on for that top 5 position as of right now. He was the only car who looks like went fuel only with his group. That's why he was able to latch on to his pack. I mean, to this pack. And now we have to scroll all the way back here. Look at this. There's a 3-car battle for this 20th spot. Michael Rosero, of course, he currently sitting 19th. The last one in, Hunter Johnson and David Bachman. All in this pack, all by themselves. Now add another one, as Malachi Dre's going to tag on to this pack as well.
So many cars are a lap down from those pit lane mistakes or just getting caught up in somebody else's pit mistakes. And, well, Glenn Bundren currently leads here down the front straightaway. He's got a good friend behind him in Blaze McKinney. Definitely going to be a loyal drafting partner once it comes down to the end of the race. But looks like Dane Cruz might be a lap car. And yes, he is in the 32nd position. So he's up here with these guys, but he is a lap down. Derek Smith, last season's champion, making headway up the outside line, getting a good push by Dylan Alt down the back straightaway. Michael Maggio also up in the group right now.
Yeah, DiMaggio's a lap car as well. A lot of lap cars as the 4 of Bianchini is on the apron. Just trying to get himself out of harm's way. Jammed up the inside line just a bit, but didn't really disrupt too much as of right now. This time by 16 laps to go, we're going to have a lot of lap cars in this main pack as well. This worries me a lot because lap cars tend to cause wrecks, especially, oh my goodness, look at all these lap cars just dotting in and around. They have to work themselves out of harm's way. That's the 16 of Brian C. Mullen, the 23. Looks like the 93 of Corey Long. Oh, one car in the outside wall. That's Long and the 93. Not sure who the 93, I mean, not the 93, the 23. That's Keelan Belsha. And that gave me a bit of PTSD. Okay, seen that before. Right now, up front, Eric launches himself up to the high side. Oh, no! What a block!
I can't believe he tried to do that, though. But Dylan Hall is going to be the guy that gets hurt from this. He gets shuffled out 3 wide by Nick Miller. And again, it's these 2 friends up front, McKinney and Bundren, as Derek gets way up to the outside right now. Oh, he turns it down straight away! Not sure what that was about, but the spin down the backstretch is going to bring out our first caution. The only car involved is Glenn Bundren from the race lead. I'm not too sure what happened there, but those 2 leaders got together, and that will spin the 37 car around and bring out the first caution of the night. Wow. What a turn of events.
Oh, my. Talk about teammates working out their duties for themselves. Take a look at it. Yet again. Watch the 87 of Blaze McKinney. It seems as though I'll just straight hooked him, but of course he's just trying to push his teammate. And Derek M. Smith did get a nip of that number 37. But I am so surprised nobody ran over that number 37. Great job for everybody to maneuver around that number 37. But this in turn, going to regroup everybody else back into one pack. And also have to keep in note, these lap cars as well. Dane Cruz will most likely get the wave around. Michael DiMaggio, Brian C. Mullen, Keelan Belsha, Bridger Olson, Lacey Cool, Matthew Klein, Max Ura, Corey Long, Julian Ricky, and Michael Bianchini all have to fight themselves to get back on the lead lap.
There's not enough caution to get all free passes, though. They're going to need wave arounds. And with no fuel concern, I don't think everybody's going to pit. So the wave around is going to be out of the question here. So lots of these guys in trouble. Dane Cruz, I think, will get the free pass here on this caution flag. So He has caught a break and will get back on the lead lap here. Michael DiMaggio not so lucky. And we'll see some of these guys actually are coming in to top off. I am honestly surprised about this.
I don't know if they came in a bit earlier. I know Miller stayed himself out the longest. But now this will restack up the field. It looks like everybody toward the back is going to hit pit road. Have the one to go signal? No, we don't. So it's Blaze McKinney, Charlie Byer. It looks like Ryan Kendrick being displayed as a leader right now. I'm not really sure about that. But it's Blaze, Byer, Retz, Alt, Poindexter, Shuttlesworth, Garner, Weil, and Brown. All the top 10. The first person who is out as of right now looks to be, oh, it's sort of shuffling because a lot of these people are on pit road, but once they get out, go ahead and list them here in a moment. It looks as though Troy Morgan in that number 39, the first car, out as of right now. Because there's so many people lapped now, I mean, because there's a handful of people now lapped, this gives drivers, this gives all the drivers on the lead lap a smaller, I wouldn't say a smaller window, but it's better than having 38 cars on the lead lap, because if you do wreck, it's going to be a mess for you to get back from 38th to the front inside that top 20. So all these drivers on the lead lap, I guess pretty lucky as of right now.
Well, Blaze McKinney looks to have been assessed an EOL for causing the crash, which is normal procedure here, so totally unfortunate circumstances there for both Bundren and McKinney, as Blaze is giving those positions up right now on the racetrack. And that will set him outside the cutoff, so he will need to get back in via drafting, as you can see cars taking several lanes to try and pass him here, but he will go from first to about 27th or so, as we have taken the one to go, so we will be going green this next time.
Alright. First caution. Now with everybody regrouped, sure it's going to be one heck of a show for that 20th spot. Then, Big Sylvia, Derek M. Smith, Darrow, Blaze McKinney, of course, got the EOL. Now he's outside. He's outside the top 20. He is also going to be right behind all those lap cars as well. And we do have 3 confirmed DNFs: Kevin White Jr. in 00, Aaron Kennington, Hyman, 30, all out of the race. Some type of about that, but here we go. iSCAR's off left. We have some new names coming into the picture as well. The number 17, Alex Paycoretz, now on in. I don't even know. Started all the way back. It looks like 29th. Goodness, what a move.
How about this? Half of the top 10 is SPM cars, so watch out for them to get hooked up and have a say in who wins this duel. Well, 11 laps to go here on the restart. Charlie Byer gets away, Dylan Alt pushing him. No help for Alex Gretz here on this restart.
Yeah, maybe he could hook up with a proximity teammate here around, but I see no proximity cars of Norris. I mean, of course, the number 17 proximity staple in the series, but unfortunately, he just has no teammates up there to really help himself. But it's SPM all up front as they're a bit of 3 wide toward the back. Some drivers just trying to scramble out for positioning. Aaron Brown now on the high side. Looks like with the 17 of Brett's as well. So now the top 4 are all going to be single file. Will Dylan Alt pull out a line and gun for the top spot?
We know he's aggressive, so he will be one of the guys that to look at to maybe make a move for the win here. But Charlie Byer, our defending winner of the Daytona 250, is trying to go 2 in a row on Saturday night. Will he be able to do it? We'll see, as he's trying to make it in via this qualifying race, and right now he is leading the race, so it shouldn't be a hard task for him right now. as they work through 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Good to see him up front.
I'm very surprised that outside line is not forming up. Look how many cars are single files. Charlie is a sitting duck. Once one of these 5 drivers pulls out of line, it's going to set off a chain reaction, and Charlie's probably going to get swamped unless the 42 is going to stay committed to his back bumper. But as of right now, it's all Charlie Byron. That number 7 has, man, nobody really wants to have that outside line of Aaron Brown. It's going nowhere.
Several people got the apron right there. One of them was David Box. A huge stack up on the inside line. Almost wiped the part of the field out as Derek Smith looks to be filing in right in front of him. Down the back straightaway, though, this inside really formed up right now. This outside led by Aaron Brown is not formed up at all. So down the back straightaway, heading to turn 3 right now. Byer continues to lead. Dylan Alt in the 2nd spot. Carson Poindexter 3rd. Brody Garner 4th. And Alex Gretz 5th right now.
Oh, Gretz looks like here we go. Now what I talked about, a chain reaction of people moving himself up high. Charlie threw the block, though. He tried to throw the block in the 42 of Alt, but now he's in the quarter panel. And look at that, SPM 1 and 2 on the bottom side with Poindexter and Byer. And this in turn, look at that. We're stacked up 2 by 2, I guess I'd say about 12 rows deep now.
That was a great fake move by the 21 of Poindexter to get to the inside and to 2nd spot. Now behind his teammate, we'll see if he's going to stay loyal to him in these next 8 laps. But Charlie continues to lead down the back straightaway heading to turn 3. But Dylan Alt gets a good push by Brody Gunner on the outside. But Brody's also on SPM, so this is going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
Oh, that is right. This time by 7 laps to go remaining in this race. We scroll all the way back to the 20th place of Jake Sylvia, who's fighting out with Ryan Kendrick, Josh Patterson to get himself in for this 250 on Saturday. Latham moved himself up to the high side. Looks like he's not going to go anywhere because of it. Aaron Brown washed himself in the middle. That might have disrupted the inside line. Now, this will give some room for Alt to have a run down the back straightaway, and he has a great pusher of that 55 of Brody Gardner right behind him.
Ooh, man, they got offset right there, but heading to turn 3, we'll see if the 42 gets clear, and he will. Does he choose to come down? He does. So Dylan Alt takes the lead for the first time tonight.
Here comes that 3rd lane.
2, yes. Latham Joyner, Nick Miller up here, Brian C. Mullen as well in that McLaren car is trying to make this move as well, and huge run for the 3 up the outside.
Wow, what a run by Latham. He is drilling himself through on that high side, and he has a couple cars tagged onto the backside of him. That's Miller and Mullen as well. It looks like Mullen tags the outside wall, and that will disrupt that outside line, so it falls apart as soon as it got formed up, and they're going to have another mount. They're going to have to mount another charge here at the front. Speaking of mounting charges, Byer to the high side.
He's going to get right in front of his teammate Poindexter, but here comes Alex Gretz, going to give a huge push to Dylan Alt right now here through this corner. Aaron Brown up in the top 5 as well, but huge disconnection back to Nick Miller. This is going to hurt this line on exit.
No doubt about it. 3 wide right behind where the 20th spot is Jake Sylvia. He's stuck on the high side and has no help. All these people right behind him, Michael Bracero, looks like Ryan Kendrick, all trying to fight themselves inside the top 20 right behind. But in the meantime, up front, there's a battle for the win going on as well as, Latham tags the wall, and he's not going to go anywhere.
He's going to need to find a spot in line here, and he does, right behind Casey Drake around the 14th or so position here. But down the back straightaway, it's an SPM line of cars, 1st through 5th on the outside. Look at all that. That is all SPM cars heading to turn 3 on the outside.
Yup, on the bottom, it's a former proximity car, that number 42 of Alt, who's going to power forward, and he has the number 17 of a proximity machine of that number 17, Alex K. Gretz, now stacked up 2 by 2, I'd say about 10 rows, no, more like 15 rows deep now. 4 laps to go remaining in the race, and we also have a race for this top 20 held by Michael Bracero in that number 43.
And there's also a race for the free pass in case of a caution. Brian Mullen currently holds that spot, but Lacey Cool, behind in the 30th position, is trying to get up there. We'll see if there's a caution, who will get the free pass. That will be very important.
Whoa, Max just got turned!
Turned around by Michael Bianchini. No caution, though. Single car, and it's a spin off the racetrack, so iRacing did not throw the caution there. Coming to 3 laps to go, though. Can Dylan Alt hold on?
Oh man, Alt is sort of a sitting duck. I think he's going to latch himself to the inside and stay there. unless he wants to throw the blocks on the straightaways, but looks like not going to happen as Bayer now mounts a charge to the high side. And look at that, maybe a third line working himself into the mix. I'm not really sure. Nobody's really taking a 3.
Well, seeing how last duel went, that might be a smart decision, at least up front. I would just sit around. Man, Aaron Brown almost turned to 17 back there. This is going to get really, really, really hairy up here towards the front, but this SPM line's starting to go. Charlie Bayer gets cleared. He moves to the inside, so we're coming to take 2 laps to go.
Yeah, that's right. Aaron moved himself up to the high side, and that in turn disrupted that inside line. Brown is going to be latched on for, looks like 7th as of right now, but it's Bayer and Poindexter, the number 21, now into the mix with, looks like the 55 of Gardner pushing him.
Carson still has no wins yet.
This is his chance.
Yes, sir, it is. Dylan Alt trying to push Charlie Bayer far ahead so maybe he could mount a charge of his own as there is a lap car right in front. That is Michael DiMaggio with a bunch of damage. I'm not sure how he got that, but down the back straightaway, heading to turn 3, coming to take this white flag. No more cautions if that happens, so the guys that are a lap down, they're going to be out of luck right here.
Yep, that is right. Here we go. One more lap to go as he crosses the start-finish line. It's all Bayer, but Alt's going to move himself to the high side. What a move there up front. White flag this time by. One more lap to go.
We'll see which line's going to get the edge as they head to turn 1. Dylan Alt getting a huge push by Carson Poindexter, but the battle is for 20th position. And to get any spots inside that top 20 right now, man, this is going to be really close on who gets this. But we'll see if anybody's going to crash down the back straightaway. But they head to turn 3 right now. Alex Gretz giving a huge push to Charlie Bayer. Lots of chain bumping going on right now as they head to turn 3.
Here we go. Looks like it's all Bayer, and that number 7 by himself. He's all clear, and he could easily fend up to the high side and block Alt. But I'm sure he's going to stay himself in line to be safe. Off of the 4th corner, Bayer, Alt, to the line. It's going to be Bayer and the race for 20th place. They're 3 wide, and looks like
I don't know.
Derek M. Smith is the final. No, he's the first one out.
Wow. Last season's champion has not made it into the Daytona 250. That is huge right there. As a big crash happens after the start-finish line. But we made it without a crash. I'm very, very, very happy about that. That a big crash did not, shake up the order there, but wow. Several of the Final 4 contenders from last season actually did not make it. Neither did Ryan Kendrick. 22nd place for Ryan.
Yeah,
so both of those guys do not make it.
Wow.
Who were the last ones in? Jake Sylvia is the last one in. Ooh, boy. That is huge for Derek Smith and Ryan Kendrick. Two guys that I thought would easily make it in are now on the verge of maybe failing to qualify for the biggest event of the season.
That is right, and congratulations to that number 7 Machina, Charlie Bayer. He's gonna burn it down here in the front straightaway. Picking off where he left off at Daytona. Here in victory lane, Charlie Bayer does it yet again over Alex K. Gretz in the number 17. Dylan Alt in 3rd, Aaron Brown in 4th, Carson Poindexter in 5th. Got a full screen of results right in front of you. Order: Bayer, Gretz, Alt, Brown, Poindexter, Miller, Gardner, Wild, Drake, and Shuttlesworth round out the top 10.
And these final 10 making it in here. Casey Drake in 11th. David Bachman in 12th. Good run for Bachman. He will be in the 250. Latham Joyner 13th. Sartajman 14th. Josh Patterson 15th. Michael Rosero 16th. Nate Stewart 17th. Dane Cruz 18th. Dallas Myhan 19th. And the last guy in is Jake Sylvia.
21st, Derek M. Smith, Ryan Kendrick, Troy Morgan, Hunter O. Johnson.
Wow.
Yeah, all these people, very, very valuable names who are not going to make themselves known in the 250 coming Saturday. Blaze McKinney, Glenn Bundren Jr., Brian C. Mullen, of course, the first car 1 lap down. Lacey Coolbridger Olsen out. Keelan Belsha, Andrew Klein, Max Urich, Julian Ricky, Tyler Coners, Michael Bianchini, Corey Long, Michael DiMaggio, Kevin White Jr., Aaron Kennington, all out.
and Colton Hyman, Mark Frimpong, Ibrahim Dejani round out the field. Mark and Ibrahim did not start.
Wow, what a race. That was fairly cleaner than that first crash fest there at the end, but congratulations to the number 7 to Charlie Byer. We will be right back right after this. Stay tuned. We're going to interview all these drivers here in a moment. This live stream is presented to you by MaxSpeed TV. All live streaming content that is presented in this telecast is owned by MaxSpeed TV, Rudy Cummings, and the entire crew of MSTV. This may not be rebroadcasted, retransmitted, and retelevised without written consent. Please enjoy today's broadcast. We welcome everybody back here live for tonight's post-race iSCAR RaceLab Cup Series event. iSCAR Daytona Duel number 2 summarizes itself out here at the Daytona International Speedway. Obviously, Byer in victory lane yet again. My goodness, picking up where he left off from last season, back down on in, and my goodness. We'll go ahead and get ourselves set up with these interviews right now. And into the booth goes the number 7 of Charlie Byer. Hey, Charlie, got a copy?
I got you, man.
Charlie, you're picking up where you left off from Daytona, back in victory lane yet again. Of course, a strong season, a strong last season of yours, and picking it off with a win here tonight has to feel really, really good.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And you know, we put ourselves in a really good position. Sorry for the echo. I ran to the bathroom really quickly, but you know, we put ourselves in a really good position with my SPM teammates, and I couldn't be more happy to get this done for the guys.
Yep, that is right. A lot of SPM cars dotted inside that top 10. You guys worked yourselves together, and now here you are. You're that number 7 in victory lane yet again. This time, you controlled the race rather than that last year's 250. Charlie, a great turnaround. What can you take off of this race and apply it onto the 250?
Yeah, for sure. And you know, this is going to bring a lot of momentum into Saturday night, and I think it's kind of a testament to, you know, my team, SPM Racing. We've been on top of it lately with the super speedways and since we joined. So I could not be more happy to be a part of them and to get this for them. It feels really, really good.
All right, bud. 10-4, Charlie Byer leading 9 laps after starting himself all the way back in 34th. Congratulations being back here in victory lane. Before we let you go, any sponsors want to take you here for tonight?
Yeah, just once again, SPM Racing. They've been on top of it lately, so I'm really happy to run for a group of guys like them. RDO3 Graphic Design, Stridafin Productions, Yield Media. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so free the titties. So yeah, that's it.
All right, bud. 10-4, Charlie Byer rounds himself out in first place. Can't wait to talk to you coming to your next race, bud.
Thank you, guys.
Charlie Byer in the number 7. We'll have to scroll all the way back to the 17. Who actually is in the number 17. Alex K. Gretz. Dog, go ahead and take this one away.
Alex Gretz, you got a copy?
I do.
Well, you ran up front almost all race, but from your viewpoint, how were those last, maybe 10 laps just pushing hard?
I honestly, so when I was behind Dylan, I had I believe it was Aaron tight on my rear bumper, so I was about to blow up. I was clocking like 295 on the oil temp for a lap there. So I was trying my best to make a gap so I didn't blow the motor, and I ended up obviously building up enough of a gap where I can cool it down. And I was able to push Charlie out to the front for the last 2 laps or so.
Well, you do end up with the second place finish tonight. Is this going to be any momentum booster going into the 250? Because this ought to boost your confidence here on these super speedways with a great run like you had.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to make Saturday night because I'm going to the banquet for the real life racing for one of my friends that I spot for. So I just wanted to come out here and run well tonight just to, put on a show.
Well, you did indeed ended up with the second place finish and giving some nice pushes to our winner. Before we let you go, any sponsors, teams, anybody that you want to thank before you get out of here?
Just Proximity Racing and all the sponsors that helped the team out. Just, for putting us out on the track and giving us a team to work with.
All right, well, congrats here on your runner-up finish. Great showing for you here tonight. And, I mean, if you can't make it, Hunter Johnson might want your spot. So you could help out the teammates there. But
yeah, I'll probably give him the spot.
Hey, have a good night, though.
You too.
That was Alex K. Gretz in the number 17 here for tonight. The number 27 looks like finishing out 4th because Dylan Alt is not in the waiting room. We'll go ahead and drag in Aaron Brown into the booth. Hey, Aaron, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Aaron, congratulations on your 4th place finish here for the evening. You started yourself outside the bubble and you worked yourself in. How'd you do it?
To be honest, I really don't know how. Had a very good pit stop. No, that was like one of my best pit stops I've ever been on the Super Speedway. Locked it up perfectly, locked it up, come in, kind of like I like to do. I held it together. Got in pit road right on the exact inch I probably needed to be on the pit sign, and it got out right behind that front pack and had the wreck. It also got me a few spots and pushing hard to that checkered flag. So, crazy how I did it, but just perfect pit stop and a good pack to work with.
Yep, that's right. Aaron Brown runs himself out in 4th place. Congratulations, man. Before we let you go, any sponsors you want to thank here for tonight?
I'd like to thank my teammates, Casey Drake, Michael Rosero, and Malachi Drake, all working together, working out the pick strategy and helping me get up front. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Thank you to broadcasting this event. Really fun one. Hope to be in the top 5, hopefully, in the 250.
That was Aaron Brown in the number 27. Congratulations for your qualifying yourself in for the 250. Can't wait to talk to you coming in for next race, bud.
Thank you.
That was Aaron Brown in the number 27. We'll go ahead and drag in, of course, this Casey Drake. I think he was in the
He's
10.
the 24.
Or the 24.
There he is.
24 in booth. He rounded himself out, looks like, in 11th place. Benjamin, go ahead and take this one away.
Well, Casey, after failing to qualify for last year's 250, you make it in this time based on the duel, finishing 11th here tonight. How was the race out there?
It was pretty tame, actually, for an iSCAR race, surprisingly. I was just taking it easy, making sure my teammates got in, and we all did. Even Peter in Duel 1, I think he crashed and still made it in or whatever. But it was really fun. We had some pit stops, which was pretty surprising. We went that long green, and it was just overall fun race.
Well, just tell us, who are you working out there with? Did you have any teammates out there on the racetrack? Who were you working with the whole race?
I was working with Aaron, Malachi, and Michael. I was just trying to I didn't really care what place we finished as long as we were in the top 20 and made it through. So I think Michael just got in 17th or whatever, and me and Aaron, Malachi kind of were in the top 15, so we're kind of safe. So kind of lucky, actually. We almost got involved in a few wrecks. I think in the middle there when the big one, not the big one, but when they wrecked it up front, we almost got involved, me and Aaron. So kind of got a few lucky breaks here and there, but overall, we all got in.
Yeah, there was a lot of near wrecks as well. Only one caution here tonight, so very tame race. Before we let you go, any sponsors, teammates, anybody you want to thank before you go on with your night?
Not really, just my teammates, Aaron, Michael, and Malachi. I don't really know what my team name is or our team name is, but I think it's Heater's team or whatever. But yeah.
All right, well, congrats here on 11th. You will be racing the 250 coming on Saturday. and good luck in that event, and of course the rest of the week here. We got trucks tomorrow, of course a 250 on Saturday, and Xfinity on Sunday. So good luck in all of those races as well.
Yep, thank you.
Go ahead and drag in one more person into the booth to round yourselves out here after tonight's broadcast. The 023, or actually the 43, Michael Brazzero, into the booth. Michael, congratulations on qualifying yourself into the 250 on Saturday. And man, it was a mess there coming to, I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily a mess, but it was one heck of a race around that 20th spot. I know you were sitting temporarily outside of that top 20. How'd you work yourself in?
Well, since we got spun off pit road, we still had help from behind, and we were so lucky when that caution came out. I was in like 21st, and then we made it back up there, and it was starting to get very dicey on the last lap. So glad we made it in. Shout out to my teammates, Casey Drake, Aaron Brown, Malachi Drake, and Eric Heater, that we all made it into the main event.
Yep, that's right, Michael. You started yourself outside in 28th place and worked yourself into 16th. Your highest was all the way back in 6th. Though, what brought you down around that 20th spot? Of course, was it just the bad pit road mishap?
Yeah, I'm guessing so. I mean, I wouldn't say it was intense at all. He was just too late. I mean, I guess he just checked up a bit. But glad we made a comeback.
All right, about 10-4, Michael Brazzero rounds himself out in 16th. Congratulations, bud. Before we let you go, any sponsors you want to thank you for tonight?
I want to thank Advanced Auto Parts. We had a great car today. Too bad we still made it in, but could have been better. I want to thank my mom, my dad, my grandparents, my uncle, everyone. Yeah.
All right, about 10-4, Michael Brazzero rounds himself out in 16th place. Can't wait to talk to you coming when the 250 happens.
Yeah, I cannot wait. It's going to be a good one.
That was Michael Brazzero and the number 43. And that will be all here for tonight. Charlie Beyer, your winner at Daytona after a hectic white flag charge. Glad we kept everybody in one piece all the way to the end here for tonight. Benjamin, any last-second comments?
I'm very impressed with how this race played out with only a one caution after the chaos of last duel. So it was great to see these guys mostly keep it straight here in this one. But if this is any indication, the 250 is going to be a wild race. So congrats to Charlie on the win here tonight. And he will have an opportunity to defend that Daytona 250 win from last season. Very excited to see how he does.
Yep, that is right. And with that being said, for the iSCAR RaceLab Cup Series, congratulations to all your winners and all the people who qualified themselves into the iSCAR Daytona 250. We can't wait to see what it's going to be like coming for the Saturday show. But until next time, my name is Ezeckiel Reyes.
I'm Benjamin White. We also had Dewey Schramm call the first duel here tonight. So thanks to him for coming up in the booth with us. And good night, folks. We'll see you tomorrow where we will have the Truck Series, the SimTV Truck Series, that is, at 9 p.m. Eastern. So it should be a good show. Trucks always put on a great race.